This is the Big O Show. 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 This is the Big O Show.
Oh, great. You have a doorbell camera. Now you have a front row seat to your house getting robbed.
They're breaking into my house!
Ooh, there goes the TV. I'm sure it'll turn up at the pawn shop.
No, not the TV!
Just because you can see them, that doesn't mean you can stop them. With Slogans, you get 24-hour monitoring, a free home security system, and professional installation. Plus, free doorbell camera, one that'll actually work for you.
Get out of my house!
Get out of the house! Call 1-800-ALARM-ME.
Welton Rayom has more than 62 years of litigation experience handling insurance disputes. They're committed to resolving even the toughest insurance claims quickly. Call them for a free consultation. 954-966-4646. At Welton Rayom, they don't get paid unless you win. Property damage claims to your home, business, or condo as a result of a hurricane. Welton Rayom can help. Water, mold, fire, smoke damage, Welton Rayom can help. Call 954-966-4646.
Why is it that you get locked out in the worst moments of your life?
Where are my car keys? Man, I can't find my house keys.
In those frustrating moments, you need a locksmith you can count on. A. Lenny Locksmiths in South Florida, from Miami to Port St. Lucie. In Central Florida, A. Lenny locks it down in Orlando and Tampa Bay. Lockouts or lock changes for home or business, car key replacements, and programming all model cars. 24-hour service. Call them at 855-869-5625. Go to the website at alennylocksmith.com.
Sports Grill on Bird Road, Miami Lakes, and their newest location in Doral is now hiring. If you're looking to join a great company and South Florida institution, give them a ring or drop an email. Sports Grill is hiring all kinds of positions, from hostess to servers, bartenders, or join the kitchen staff to craft some great food for their amazing customers. Please send your resume to m.cruz@sportsgrillmiami.com or call 305-219-5726. That's 305-219-5726. Sports Grill. Good food, good drink, good friends. When you move, you need a reliable company led by passionate folks, eager to assist its customers during a transitional process that needs to be smooth. Call Essential Moving Experts at 844-368-5750 for all your local and long-distance moving needs. You can rely on Essential Moving Experts. Mention the Big O Show and get $150 off. Family owned and operated, they offer free 30-day storage, full service moving, fully licensed, bonded, and insured. Moving was never so easy. EssentialMovingExperts.com.
Welcome to Red Light Therapy, a revolutionary technology perfected by NASA to aid in muscle strengthening and recovery. Red and infrared light has the capacity to penetrate deep into the cell's mitochondria, potentially leading to increased energy, faster recovery and the optimal performance your body demands. Train, fight, recover.
The viewpoint statements or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyXS.com, Media Group Inc., ownership, management, sponsors, or website. The Big O Radio Show's coverage of the NBA Summer League is brought to you by HialeahParkCasino.com. Enjoy simulcast racing, dining, a magnificent poker room, and a casino with the most popular machines on the market. KSDT is recognized by Forbes as one of the top tax and accounting firms for 2022. KSDT CPA is a full-service firm that also excels in crypto. ALennyLocksmith.com. Lockouts or lock changes for home or business. Car key replacements and programming for all model cars. Call 24 hours a day anywhere in South Florida. 855-869-5625. Welcome to the Slomans.com NBA Summer League coverage, live from Las Vegas. Slomans Total Home Security. Protect your home with the best in the business. 1-800-ALARM-ME for the company serving America for nearly 100 years. 1-800-ALARM-ME. Here's your host, Big O.
All righty. Good morning, boys and girls. Time to rock and roll on a beautiful Tuesday from Las Vegas. A very hot Tuesday from Las Vegas because it is very hot every single day out here. Man, it is just smoking. I'm telling you, dude. You could just cook your popcorn out there. Seriously. Or grab the skillet and just take the eggs outside and just put the thing on the sidewalk, and you'll be cooking in no time, as they say. That's it. It is boiling, bro. I know we have like the humidity over there, and then this is like a dry heat. But it's like dry that like there are moments where like, can I suck enough wind to breathe? That kind of stuff. And it's the interesting part is that we all adjust to everything, right? The man or woman that lives in Fargo, North Dakota, they adjust to 15 degrees below zero. They adjust to waking up to 7 degrees. You know what I mean? That would be a hard adjustment for my ass. And so we're in South Florida, where it's humid as hell, that you take a shower and you walk out and you start sweating again. You know what I mean? And we kind of, unfortunately, we live with it. We adjust with it because it's one of those things. And then I watch people out here, and you're like, how in the hell are they outside? You know what I mean? But they're used to being at 103 and 107, 109, 113 degrees. You know what I mean? It's not that it's like they all tell you, stay hydrated and all that good stuff, like in any kind of heat wave or anything like that. But man, it is strange, but it's also normal to watch everyone adjust to whatever climate they happen to live in. You know what I mean? And so it is one hell of a change when you see what goes on here, and then, what we live in every single day, or it depends on wherever you're at, in the different parts of the world. Although some of you live in certain places where the climate is never really too extreme one way or the other, which is probably ideal, overall. So good morning to all of you out there, as always. Hope you all are doing well on a beautiful Tuesday, July 12th. I would tell you we've got a ton of things to talk about, but I would be lying to you that we have a ton of things to talk about, because, man, preparing for the show, this is one of those days, and it's been like that for the last month or two, that there hasn't been a ton. And since, our Heat got eliminated, and then the Panthers also got eliminated, it took us out of that mix, early on. And so we're kind of waiting for the whole free agent thing to happen in basketball. Will it happen? I saw Barry Jackson's report yesterday that Sean Marks and Andy Ellisberg had the meeting. Now, here's where Sean Marks played for the Heat and all that, and there's a relationship. So that talk, that meeting might be nothing. And by the way, being out here in Vegas, guess what they're doing? Sean Marks and Rob Pelinka are together. Sean Marks and Masai Ujiri are together. So if you're the Toronto media, you're showing Sean Marks with Masai Ujiri. If you're the Miami media, you're gonna show Andy Ellisberg is talking with Sean Marks. It's just one of those. The LA media, and you have no idea the Pelinka thing. You think our story and the Masai story has a little traction? Go look at social media with Pelinka. I don't know how many more pictures they can have of Sean Marks and Pelinka and angles and all that kind of stuff. So all eyes are clearly on Sean Marks. Hell, he was sitting, 3 rows in front of me 2 days ago in the Heat game. Obviously, I was another one that took a picture of Sean Marks there while at Vegas Summer League, which, by the way, we will be there today. The Heat will play the Atlanta Hawks tonight at 7 o'clock your time in the East, 4 p.m. our time here in the West Coast. So we'll have a little fun. It's going to be fun because we covered practice yesterday, and so today we'll cover a game, and tomorrow we'll have a game. But my point in the whole Barry Jackson thing, there's really nothing to it, because Sean Marks is talking to everybody. And that doesn't mean that there's a deal being consummated right there at that moment. And the Andy Ellisberg thing, that may be nothing whatsoever. Maybe just them reminiscing and catching up because they have a history together, because Sean Marks is a former Heat guy, But again, I just want you to know Sean Marks is, being viewed and seen and reported with Masai Ujiri, and so with Rob Pelinka, and I'm sure others out there that may be. So all of the talk of, what we don't see is I didn't see James Jones with Sean Marks at the moment, which means that's the deal that's going to end up happening. Because we see Miami and New Jersey or Brooklyn. We see the Lakers in Brooklyn. We see, who is it? Who am I missing here? Oh, Toronto and Brooklyn, but we're not seeing anything from the Suns. Oh, then that means that's the one that's actually going to end up happening. So who knows? It's just, I found it funny. But again, it's just one of those things that, what the hell? Why not report it? They're together. It doesn't really mean anything. It doesn't mean it's getting to anywhere or any kind of progress in anything. It might be two people just bullshitting around and catching up and not talking about Kevin Durant and a deal, So that's the good thing. Now, you got to remember that if you're the Miami Heat, you want to deal with Sean Marks because you have a history with Sean Marks. And if you're Pat Riley, you want to deal with Sean Marks. You don't want to deal with the guy in Utah, Danny Ainge, because you don't get along. So it's, and Pat probably would not be part of the conversations. It'll probably be more of the other guys, Ellisberg and company, doing the wheeling and dealing, obviously, if you had to deal with Utah for Donovan Mitchell. But it looks like they're building around Donovan Mitchell. This is the move that they've got to try to make, but I just want you to know that being here in Vegas, they're showing everybody with Sean Marks. It's not just a Miami thing. Like, don't, because I know that we're going to have, some fans down there in South Florida. Oh, Sean Marks meeting with the Heat, man. Oh, it's going to happen. And, they're not being objective because they're fans, and they're not looking at, Sean Marks is talking to everybody else too at the same time. And the same pictures or same reports about meeting with the Heat, he's meeting with others. So I just found it kind of entertaining through all of this, and we'll see what ends up happening overall. All right, let's see what else do we have here on the chat board. The Steve Chapman in on the chat board, Jamie Zoria in. And he does remind everybody, please smash the hell out of the like button. There's already 71 watching right now, and there's only 20 likes. So we're off by 51. Come on, man. Let's go. Hit that like button. Help us out there, man. Too Extreme is in. Sweet Baby Ray in. Donardo Joseph. Daniel Marquez out in Plantation. Sebastian Alvarez. I didn't know Sean Marks was a Heat guy. Yeah, well, maybe you're a new Heat fan. Maybe you're a young Heat fan. But Sean Marks was a player here for a couple years. Bench player, stuff like that. Guy you play when there's a route. Kyle Cockrell is in. Willie is in. Pep is in. He says, just watched Van Halen live in concert from 84 on YouTube. David Lee Roth, what a front man. The best front man ever for a rock band is David Lee Roth. The best ever. That guy he was special. He was special. Robert Lund says the Treasure Coast is checking in. Billy Shaw is in. And he's with me. He says 72 watching, 21 likes. Let's catch up, he says. I agree. 6193 in. Says good morning to all Big O Show fans from all over the world. Thank you out there. Big O, when do we start training camp? I'm ready for some football. That'll be the 19th. The rookies will start, but I think the date that matters to us, because none of us have any access, it's the 26th or 7th or something like, huh? It's the 26th, right? Yeah. That's when the veterans report. That's when media gets there. That's when fans can start to see the practices. So really around the 26th or 27th, I'll look it up there, Sean, for us. That's when it all happens. So we still have about 2 weeks left, my friends. So, we got to hang in there. We're almost there. Almost there. We'll get there. We'll get there. It'll be fun. Don't worry about it. What we don't want is any of the Dolphins getting in trouble. Okay? That's the most important part over this dead time, is that nobody gets in trouble. And you got to think about it this way. The Miami Dolphins have already passed step 1 of the offseason. You know what step 1 is? No one injured. Because we could talk about all the bullshit with the quarterbacks camp and mini camps and who's catching the ball, who's running well, this, that, whatever. But you really don't know anything on the football side. It's all mental reps for them. But the most important part is that they didn't lose anybody with some Achilles or knee injury for the rest of the year when the season hasn't even started yet. That didn't happen. Part 2 now is during this offseason that nobody gets arrested. Nobody gets in trouble. Nobody puts themselves in a position to hurt themselves for this upcoming season and hurt their team. So far, so good. Got 2 weeks left. Hopefully no Dolphins get in trouble. As you've watched around the league, a couple players have already gotten in trouble, and that's just something that we want to hopefully avoid. And then step 3 will be surviving training camp in the preseason without any serious, injuries that will cause anything for the season. That's really what the offseason's about. It's survival. It's making sure that you get to the regular season in one piece, because it's hard enough to survive the regular season. To survive the regular season with baggage from the offseason, whether it's injury or issues, that's not what we want. So that's really what you're rooting for right now as a Dolphins fan. You want your team at its best, at its peak to start the season. So let's hope for that. Right now, everything has gone perfectly. And hopefully it will continue that way. And then we'll get to training camp and we'll get an opportunity to actually see the team and really talk about what's actually happening, out there on the field. So, Tank McBride, I, like you and many others, can't wait for the football season, but it'll be here soon. John Padilla is in. He's in like Flynn, he says. Brian Doherty is in. He says, have a great day, oh. You too, sir. Thank you for joining us. Nelson, good morning. Oh, still waiting on the investigation of the NCAA was going to open up on Alabama. Nick Saban, you said would happen a few weeks back after the whole back and forth and Jumbo Fisher. Yep. And apparently they haven't done anything. So, I mean, what are they going to do in the end? They have no power. And it's just like you made an accusation, whatever. Then there's not going to be any suspension or anything like that. Big O Army represent, says Brooklyn Rob. Smash the like. Thank you. Please smash. Follow Brooklyn Rob on that one. Ragin says, have you ever seen Corey Taylor sing Van Halen songs? He does a great job and captures David Lee Roth style perfectly. Are you talking about Corey Taylor? That's the Slipknot guy? Is that who we're talking about? I'm not exactly sure. Am I right? Corey Taylor? You know about Slipknot? You're joining in on a music conversation. Now I've lost my shit here. All right.
I was reading an article about Taylor Hawkins.
Oh, Taylor Hawkins.
Taylor Hawkins' son. Did you see the
No.
He got on the drums and played.
Oh, Taylor Hawkins, the drummer. This his son. Okay.
His son did a
okay.
One of the things. So I was
okay.
Taylor Hawkins. You said Taylor, so I think you're talking to that.
Okay.
My fault.
I've never seen Corey Taylor. You know, I'm not a Slipknot guy as it is because I don't even consider that singing. But then again, you know, whatever. But yeah, if that's the Slipknot guy, yeah. No, I've never seen it. Never seen it. El Reezy, fins up. Billy Shaw says Rich writes comments about Tua. See, Rich, I don't know what the hell you're saying, Billy Shaw. Good morning, sir. Top of the morning, Daryl Ray. Thank you. I know it's the off season, but damn, I don't know how. I have no idea what you're talking about, Billy Shaw. And dude, what are we gonna go over? Some comment about Tua? I don't give a shit anymore about any of that stuff anymore. It just that does nothing for me, man. Rosendo is in. Things will kick off at 10:25 on Saturday, July 30th, when the Finns hold their first public practice.
First public. July
public.
26th, Veterans Report.
Right, Veterans Report on 26th. So if the Veterans Report on 26th, then that means the 27th or 28th we're already in there. Because we're usually the day after because they do their... Yeah, and then the public then gets to see the practices. Tolga is in from Rochester, New York. Man, we got a lot of people up in that area. Let's see. All right, Billy Shaw. I don't care, bro. It's just, you know, that's stupid stuff that, you know, that's for fan crap, man. It's not for, this is a radio show. We actually do like a real talk show here. And I'm not here to go over every idiot's comments about, you know, Tua or whatever, or anybody else. Rosendo is in. David, plus, we shouldn't even give them the time of day. Devin Jordan is in, checking in from Atlanta. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Let's see. Tiger Shark Tony, thanks for all you do, Big O. Love the show. Thank you. Big O, when will you have Ira on again, please? He was on yesterday. He'll be on Friday, I think, or Friday. Please ask him about the young big man rookie from Fresno State, Orlando Robinson. We talked to him yesterday. You can go to our Twitter, our YouTube page, and you can see the entire interview with Orlando Robinson yesterday after practice. And you got pictures of him warming up and him and Zoe and all of that. So you may want to check out our YouTube page, which you're on right now. We have a bunch of stuff there you may want to check out. So yes, I don't know what you want me to ask him about Orlando Robinson, but I don't think he's ahead of Yurtseven right now. Now, and they all need to work on different things. Antonio Ingram is out in Ludwicki, Georgia. Oh, thank you, Antonio. Appreciate you, man. Ragin says, yes, that's the guy from Slipknot. He also has his own band. Yeah, I've seen Stone Sour. I saw Stone Sour in New Jersey at the PNC somebody that lives out in Jersey watching, you know what I'm talking about. It's about a half hour away from the Jersey Shore, from the Stone Pony. It's called it's an amphitheater. It's called like the PNC Amphitheater or something like that. And I saw Stone Sour. Oh God, what was it? It was Stone Sour, Skillet, Freak on a Leash. Not Slip. I was gonna say Slip It Out. Freak on a Leash. Damn it, what's the name of that band? Yeah, Freak on a Leash. Damn it. Somebody will get it on the chat really quick. Korn. Thank you, Chad. Korn was the headliner. And then Stone Sour was the second band. Skillet was the third band, and there was a fourth band. I forgot who it was because I didn't know them very well. I knew Skillet, which I like Skillet, by the way, and Stone Sour was actually pretty good. They're better. I like their music better than Slipknot's style overall. What else do we have here? What else do we have? Where's what? Okay. Let me see. Chad is in. D'Angelo's in. Sean Marks played for the Heat and the Suns. Yes, I know. Brooklyn Rob, is Sean working from the suite bathroom? Sounds like Omar Kelly. Well, the thing is, he's on the other side of the table. He doesn't have a mic, and we're in the kitchen. So then there's a little bit of an echo. So yeah. No, but we do bathroom broadcast, but this time it's not a bathroom broadcast. Not at all, Brooklyn Rob.
I'll call him later from the bathroom.
Yeah, that would be good. John Yang is in. He says, my first day back in the office since COVID. Well, hey, good thing is you're back and you're healthy, and that's all that matters, my brother. I believe Nick. I don't care, bro. I don't care, Donardo and Billy Shaw. I don't care. Jay De Niro, Troy Ortiz. I have no idea why you guys are so dying for me to even talk about it. Rank these bands: Supertramp, Styx, and Yes. Have you seen any of them live? I've seen Styx, Yes, and Supertramp. So if I'm going to rank them in their peak, okay, I'm going to go Styx, Yes, Supertramp. We good? Not that everybody would have the same, but Styx is definitely number one. And then I'm going to go Yes, number two, and then Supertramp, number three. And I love Supertramp, don't get me wrong, but Styx and Yes, I'm going to go over them. Chad says, we won't over this last week. What slowest part of the sports year? We don't need to analyze everything the Dolphins are doing. Let's just evaluate them when the season starts. Exactly. When real football is being played. Exactly, Chad. There's a Tua autograph session at Hollywood Collectibles, 1300 Sterling Road in Dania Beach at 11:30 a.m. Today? Nelson, you didn't give the day. Is it today? Because you're mentioning it like it's today. So is it today, or because that sounds like a Saturday type of thing that they usually do, not a Tuesday type of thing, but you never know. You never know. Big O, another point with LeBron is on the defensive side of the top side of the offensive side. LeBron only plays defense sporadically, whereas Jordan always played defense. Yeah, on the comparisons, I mean, Jordan's the man, bro. That's, to me, none of that stuff. No Inside the Paint for a little bit. It is on the shelf. It will be back soon. Let's see. Russomania, thank you, sir, for helping us out there. PNC Bank Arts Center. That's it. That's the one. Skillet, Whispers in the Dark. They're kind of, they're like a under the radar band, Skillet. Not a lot of people know them. They have a little bit of their, they're a little bit religious also. But again, music is music. I don't care, good music is good music. And Skillet does a really nice job overall. They're a good band. Corn Iowa Productions is in. Thank you, sir. I'm not into Slipknot, but Taylor's a good singer. There you go. Okay. Yeah, Slipknot just does nothing for me. Nizzle says he's headed to Panama for vacation tomorrow, living the dream. All right. I haven't been to Panama in a long time. Used to go to Panama all the time. It was fun. Let's see. Dougie Fresh is in the house. George Gonzalez says greetings from Colorado Springs. I like it. Jose Lucas says if Pat can somehow find a way to get KD paired with Jimmy without giving up Bam, we're winning the chip. Yeah. But I don't think it happens without Bam. That's the problem. Chad says saw Stone Sour. First concert I ever went to in 2000, Zeta's USO shows. I was 12. My mom took me. I got to see Godsmack, Three Doors Down, whole bunch of bands from that time. We'll never forget that. It's pretty good. Godsmack is good too, man. They are really good. A friend of mine turned me on to Godsmack a few years back, and I've been a fan ever since. Isaiah says, morning, Big O. Only band I'm playing today at work is Iron Maiden. I love it. Up the irons. Josh is in the house. Says, what's up, Owen, Sean, and everybody from work. There you go. And say hi to the president, of course. Your lovely wife. We haven't seen Alexa V on the chat board in a while there. But I'm sure we'll see you in Doral for a little Dolphin broadcast. So looking forward to that. Anyway, so we got a bunch of, we don't really have a bunch of things to talk about. We got some things to talk about today on this show. We talked a little bit about the Heat and the story with Sean Marks and Andy Ellisberg and all of that. Good experience yesterday covering practice. And I keep telling you guys out there, if you're basketball fans, this is the week that you had to be out here for Vegas. The past weekend and all through this week is really the time to come on out here and enjoy. And then if you're a basketball fan, you're going to see players from the past and the present walking all over the place, Hall of Famers, NBA executives. It's just one of those things that it's a really, really cool experience. Plus you're in Vegas, and you don't get to, you don't get access to everything out there, obviously, because you're not media or you're not part of an NBA team, but fans have access to people that they never have access to in the regular season. That's the cool part. Okay, maybe you can't sit on the bench. Maybe you can't go into the locker rooms. But right in the stands, Dominique Wilkins could be sitting next to you. Jason Tatum could be a row away from you. That's just the way it is. And it's actually really, really cool how when you're walking and you're looking into the crowd, you're seeing a bunch of faces you don't recognize. But then all of a sudden you're like, holy crap. That's this guy. That's that guy. That's this guy. Wow, that's that team president. That's that GM. And they're sitting there amongst the fans and everything else. It's a very casual type thing. And you buy the ticket and you're there all day. You can go and come all you want. Parking is free. I mean, it's a great deal, man. You want to see the Heat, and then you say, you know what? I want to go see Banchero play. And you would have seen him put on a show the other night. Now they put him on ice for the rest of the summer league because obviously they don't need to see more from him. But that's kind of the idea, is that you get to see some of these young cats, and some veterans, like a James Wiseman who was dealing with an injury over a year plus, and he comes back for Golden State and he kicks ass. So it's a beautiful thing. Like your Heat game is at 1. And let's say Banchero's playing at 9 o'clock or 7, or let's say 6, 7 o'clock here. You can leave, go have some dinner, lunch, whatever the hell you want, then come back and watch Banchero if you want. Or you can just stay all day. You bring your kids. They can go get autographs. Oh my God. They would load up on the autographs. So I'm just telling you because as I've never experienced the Vegas Summer League myself. And so this is actually an experience for myself. I listen, man, I'm a sports fan, as you all know. I do this with a passion every single day. I don't do this like there was a media member that I know that he goes to me, "Why would you come here?" And I told him, "Why not?" And that's the difference between a media member that looks at his job like a job and a media member like myself that loves what he does every single day. And it doesn't matter whether I was, even if I had to deal with the politics of radio and all that other stuff at times, I still love what I do. If I didn't love what I do, I wouldn't go to the extremes that we've done here to build up this show the way we have amazing sponsors, like Sloman's, who, is the title sponsor and helping us go on the road to cover all of this kind of stuff. You know what I mean? So I appreciate this every single day. I think it's a lot of fun as a sports fan. That's why I think I communicate with a lot of you out there because you're sports fans, just like I am. You know what I mean? And while I have my job as a media member to try to stay as objective as possible and call things like I see it, I still appreciate every day what I do. Unlike that person that said that to me, who clearly, I remember there was this writer back in the day. I'm not going to say for which paper. He's retired already. In fact, I think he might have passed away, if I'm correct. And this guy, every time he showed up at the Heat or Dolphins beat to do a story, he would complain. And he was just this big old sourpuss about everything. And I'm standing there going, this mother effer's complaining about covering sports. Like, what the hell is wrong with you, dude? You could have a real job. It's and while this is work, because we work, but when you love what you do, you don't really look at it that way. You grind every day, and other people may look at it like, wow, you're working like crazy. And I look at it like, yeah, I'm doing what I love. I'm not working like crazy. I do what I love. I look forward to doing it. Today I got up and I'm preparing for the show and all, and there is not a lot of stuff to do. And I'm like, well, wait a minute. I got 3.5 hours to go, and there's not a lot to talk about. That's going to be a challenge, but that's kind of part of the game. By the way, Sloman's Home Shield is a proud sponsor of our show, 1-800-ALARM-ME. That's 1-800-ALARM-ME. And right now we'll give away a free doorbell camera. Hey, tell them that Big O sent you, folks. And that doorbell camera connects directly to your smartphone. And that smartphone and that doorbell camera are going to become your best friends because that'll keep an eye on everything going on in and out of that house of yours. And whether you're inside and you don't want to answer the door, all you got to do is check your phone. You don't have to walk over to the door anymore or anything like that. Just let them knock, let them ring the bell. That's it. You want to answer it? You answer it. You don't? You don't. Somebody's delivering something. You can tell them just place it there. You can go out. You can have contactless, situation. In today's world, that's a better thing, right? This is why I want you to call 1-800-ALARM-ME. That's 1-800-ALARM-ME. And let me tell you that doorbell camera connects directly to your smartphone. And when you use our professional installation and low-cost central station monitoring, you're going to get an LED touchscreen pad, a motion detector, 3 arm doors, and a backup battery. Call 1-800-ALARM-ME. That's 1-800-ALARM-ME for the Sloman's Home Shield. There you go. What else do we have? Bam will get the Defensive Player of the Year and expand his offense next season. Let's hope so. Let's hope so. Big O, any corporate time-stealing weasels listen to your show? Richard, I would imagine lots of corporate time-stealing weasels are listening and watching the show. Yes, of course. In fact, there's over 100 people right now on the chat board. Admit it right now if you're watching or listening to the show at work, which means you're a corporate time-stealing weasel. Bless you, Mad Dog. That was his line that we're stealing. So let me see on the chat board. Okay. Corporate time-stealing weasel. CT stealing. Oh, yeah. CTSW. Okay. Just put CTSW, meaning you are a corporate time-stealing weasel. Josh says me. Michael Up says, yep, right here. Billy Shaw, plead the fifth. There we go. CTSW coming in. Liwardo. There you go. See, that's the best way to work. Listening to our show while you're working. There's nothing wrong with that. George says, not really, because I'm a salesperson. Russomania is chiming in as CTSW. Kyle says me. George says me. Right here, Jack Hammer says Padilla. Polly King says, I'm never up this early, but when I work at night, CTSW. There you go. There you go. Rosendo says summer hiatus. That's right, because Rosendo, you're a teacher, right? If I remember correctly. Is that what it is? So you're off for the summer? Bradley Ebersold says CTSW 100% daily. I love you all. Mr. NSB 10B is one. There you go. I like it. Only way I survive the day is listening to you, man. I close out big clients so they can't tell me nothing, Big O. There you go. That's it. You produce, baby. That's all. Eric Studley is a CTSW. I always listen at work. You guys help me make it. Says Florida born, Kentucky grown. I love it. I love it. Thank you. Thank you, Bradley. I appreciate you, man. When is the Doral Sports Grill open? It's probably late August they're aiming for, is what they're aiming for. They think late August they'll be open, right before the football season. Yeah, something like that. El Reezy, CTSW on a forklift doing the Bluetooth thing. John Santos says present. Every single day at my desk right now, says Ian from Brooklyn. I love that. I love that. By the way, I just saw this morning, Bruce Springsteen is coming in the E Street Band. And so just to kind of, the Florida dates, February 7th at the Hollywood, which would be the Hard Rock, I would imagine. February 5th for our friends in Orlando. Tampa, February 1st. Atlanta, our friends there, February 3rd. Dallas gets it at February 10th. Houston gets it February 14th. Kansas City gets it February 18th. Seattle gets it the 27th of February. Denver gets it March 2nd. Let's see. Albany, New York gets March 14th. Philadelphia, March 16th. Boston, March 20th. Buffalo, March 23rd. New York City, April 1st. Brooklyn, April 3rd. Belmont Park in New York, April 9th and 11th. Newark, New Jersey, the 14th. I wonder if I'm going to go to the one in Hollywood for sure. I wonder if I should travel up to Newark and see the show on the 14th in Jersey. Yeah, dude. Go see Springsteen in Jersey. Belmont Park 2 nights in a row. The 9th and the 11th. That's not bad either. I got to tell you, man. I still have I visited the Stone Pony once, and it's still on my bucket list that I have to go to a concert at the Stone Pony. That is something that I need. That's a bucket list that I need to have. I need to make sure that I get done overall. But Gave you a couple of dates there if you want to look it up. All the list for the Springsteen and the E Street Band dates are all there also. So if you want to check that out, you can do that also right there on the program. By the way, let me just give you a little sum in music history, since we look at today's date, July 12th, and the things that happened in today in music history. Where the hell is this thing that I need for that segment, which I thought I had ready to go, but unfortunately I do not. So I'm going to have to then go back to where I originally got it. There we go. Okay. So today in music history on July 12th, some interesting things happened. First of all, in 1962 on this date, Rolling Stones made their live debut at London's Marquee Club. They would later add the G and then become the Rolling Stones. But that day they were the Rolling Stones. In 1992 on this date, police arrested Guns N' Roses singer Axl Rose at New York's Kennedy Airport on charges related to a 1991 incident at a concert in St. Louis where the singer is said to have started a melee by diving into the crowd to grab a fan's camera. He was a maniac in those days. In 2003, on this day, Rob Halford announced he was rejoining Judas Priest for a tour and a new album, their first together in 13 years. In 1969, on this date, which this is an amazing thing, Blind Faith made their live debut in the United States and New York Madison Square Garden. It's Winwood, Clapton, Ginger Baker. Was it Greach was the other guy? Blind Faith, man. Super group. In 1996, Smashing Pumpkins drummer Jimmy Chamberlain was charged with drug possession after the death of the band's keyboard player Jonathan Melvoin, that is, in his New York hotel room. In 1986, Simply Red had their first number one in America with Holding Back the Years. In 1999, Limp Bizkit singer Fred Durst was arrested after allegedly kicking a security guard in the head during the band's show in St. Paul, Minnesota. Why would you kick the security guard in the head? In 2008, this one's classic, 61-year-old Rolling Stone Ronnie Wood left his wife of 23 years and moved in with an 18-year-old cocktail waitress. Yeah, 61 and 18. Yeah, that's about balances it out. So those are some of the things that happened today in music history. For those of you out there that love themselves a little music history. By the way, EJD Construction, a proud sponsor of our program. If you need to enlarge your home, you need to add another room, you need to add a second floor, you need major home remodeling and home construction, you call EJD Construction. I'm telling you, folks, and they do all kinds of things for you. They will provide cost analysis with architectural drawings in the design phase prior to paying for the engineering phase. And the construction cost analysis is basically a construction estimate with the added 15 to 30% for contingency and to establish a budget. Folks, they also will do the bid set for you, a full set of architectural drawings that include a site plan, mechanical, and plumbing. They will assist you in establishing a budget. Call the people at EJD Construction. They will do the job and do it right. They're fully insured. I tell you this all the time. Even if you don't hire EJD Construction, but you call somebody else, please make sure they're fully insured. Because if they get injured in your home, they're going to sue you, and you're liable for it. And so if they're fully insured, you're not liable for it. EJD Construction is fully insured. Call professionals. 305-433-4843. That's 305-433-4843 for ejdconstruction.com. All right. I like it. The perks working from home, I get to watch every day. Oh, thank you, Chad. I appreciate you, my man. And JS 1115 is working from home also. Brian says, definitely on my lunch hour, and he's laughing. Ragin says he's working from home too today. There we go. I like it. Is Kyrie to the Lakers a question of when and not if? Yeah, Brian, I kind of get the feeling of that. You know why I get that feeling? Nobody wants Kyrie Irving. And that's the thing. So the Lakers know that nobody wants Kyrie Irving. Nobody's going to trade. The only thing that other teams are going to give up for Kyrie Irving are bad contracts. Why? Because you're renting the player. Because he's going to end up in the Lakers anyway. He's not re-signing with you. So you're not getting a player that's committed, first of all, to you long-term. Hell, you're not even getting a player that's committed short-term. You have no idea what you're getting. So Kyrie Irving, believe it or not, has no value because he has no credibility. He has no work ethic on top of all of that, because obviously if you're able to walk away from people for ridiculous reasons and you have everything on the line and you made a commitment to Durant and to that franchise and you can't live up to it for whatever, vaccine or whatever, none of the excuses are worthy. Sorry. Okay? We've already had this conversation. To me, that's the problem with Kyrie Irving. Because you have no credibility, because nobody can trust you, because you have no work ethic, because you have no professionalism whatsoever, because basically you're just a punk that can play basketball at an incredibly high level, nobody wants you. And the only idiots that will take a chance on you are the Lakers, because those idiots have no choice. That's why. Rob Pelinka's a disaster. They're just lucky that the Heat got injured and everything went well for them in the bubble that year. And, AD stayed healthy enough to kind of put it together and make a run, and they won their title, and that's it. But outside of that, that team's not winning anything else. And they have no other way of acquiring anybody else. And everybody knows it. Everybody knows what's going on in the world. I don't even know what's going on in myself. I doubt you guys even know what the hell I'm singing. But anyway, so I just don't think anybody really cares. Everybody understands. Everybody wants to deal with that loser. So the Lakers have no choice. And the Nets know that they have no choice. So they'll wait till the Lakers have to give them the picks, because they'll say, F you, Kyrie, until the Lakers give us what we want. Or if not, you can sit the entire year there and we don't care. And the Lakers, well, the clock is ticking. Sands of the hourglass are coming through. And LeBron is getting older every single day. So LeBron will put the pressure on them. So there you go. There you go. Andy Ellisberg was at dinner with Sean Marks. Yeah, thanks for tuning in late. You can rewind. Anybody know what I just sung? Anybody? Does anybody know what I just sung? What band did I just sing? I doubt you're going to get the name of the song. I'd be interested in that. Okay. Very interested in that. If one of you can get it. Because there are a little over 109 people now there. So don't forget, please, to smash the hell out of the like button while you're watching. Okay. Thank you all out there, as always. Manny Navarro will join us at 11:30. We'll have Omar Kelly at 12:15. George Richards will join us at 1. Anthony Chang will stop by at 1:30. Okay? There you go. Trying to close the deal. No, JS, they're not. It's a marriage made in hell, says Brian. Too Extreme says, sounded familiar. Depends. If you listen to that band, it sounds familiar. No, it's not Simply Red. Yeah, he put an LOL, so he knows it. He knows it wasn't Simply Red right from the get-go. Richard says, Big O, how do you accurately rank a defense in football yards, points, turnovers? Forced some rankings, had the Dolphins 2021 defense 26, but fans say it's a top 10 defense. What is the truth? It's definitely not a top 10 defense. No. It's a middle of the pack defense is what it is. They can't stop the run. How can you be a top 10 defense? Any moron that tells you the Dolphins are a top 10 defense, they have no idea what they're talking about. Maybe this year, if they prove they can stop the run, they can become a top 10 defense. But if you can't stop the run, there's no way you'll ever be a top 10 defense. And in the first half of the season, they got burned a lot of times by some of the better passing teams, including X. So no, they're not top 10. They're like 15, 18, something like that. That's what they are, right around there. They're middle of the pack. That's how I would view them. Whatever, it's subjective. 15, 18, 20, whatever. They're right around the middle of the pack. They're not in the top half. They're somewhere in the second half, right there in that first third of that second half. Somewhere there. That's where I would put the Dolphin defense. It's not a special defense. They have not proven to be that. So anybody that tells you that, they're just being a blind ass fan. That's really what they're doing. Nothing more, nothing less. Because they're not really calling it like they see it. Hopefully with a better offense, they also can become a better defense.
Blind ass fan alert. Look out, everyone. We've got a blind ass fan coming through.
There you go. That would be my answer to that whole, ranking the defense and all that. Let's just wait to see what happens this year now. And, without the interference of Flo, and now we're going to find out what kind of a defensive coordinator you now have. So let's just give it some time. You know what I mean? But this is a good opportunity for them to climb into the top half of the league on defense, because they're not in the top half. That's for sure. But they've got to get much better against the run. Much better. Derek says, I want a training camp to start already. So do I, Derek. And stop wearing floaties in the pool. Let's see. Miami's defense last year was around 16th overall. They underachieved. I don't know. I don't think they underachieved because they don't have anybody in the middle. They until they stopped that run, they didn't underachieve. They are what they are. Samuel says, I think this year the defense will be better and Javon Holland will have a Pro Bowl type year. Plus, I expect the defense to be less on the field because our run game will be better. Yes. That's why I said better offense should improve that defense too. Yeah. Yep. I hope Boyer is a good play caller. The defense was good in 2020. Boyer was promoted. Yeah, we'll see. Brooklyn Rob says CTSW, but my boss is also listening, so he's a CTSW as well. Nice. I hope you're loading up on these dips here, Brooklyn Rob. I know I've been loading up, bro. Loading up. By the way, how cool. I don't know how many of you have Star Atlas that you got in OK Coin, because I got a boatload of it. Yesterday, OK Coin built a bridge for Star Atlas. So I unloaded all my Star Atlas to my Trezor wallet. That was the only thing I had left on OK Coin that I had not transferred. I transferred all my Polygon, all my Cardano, all my Avalanche, all my Polkadot, Cadena, and all I had left was Star Atlas on that, and my Bitcoin also. I transferred all my Bitcoin too. Because I've taken everything off of exchanges pretty much that I can. On Crow, Stuff that's coming off unstaked, I'm then transferring it into my but Crow's not having any issues, so I'm not worried. And neither is OKCoin, by the way. Remember what happened with Celsius, what happened with Luna. They were also DeFi lending platforms besides being cryptocurrency exchanges. And so a lot of these cryptocurrency exchanges, they're not going to have any issues right now. They may have less volume because less people are trading. You know what I mean? I would think that Bitcoin and Ethereum are the ones that are being it's being taken off the shelf like it's going out of style. People are buying and taking Bitcoin off of the exchanges and they're stashing them into their hard wallets, like yours truly, because I'm still buying Bitcoin and Ethereum like crazy. But I thought it was really cool that OKCoin, and it shows you how strong they are, how they're fine, and you know why? They're building bridges so you can move your coins. They wouldn't do that. They'd limit you from taking your money out. So OKCoin, and again, why? Because OKCoin is not a DeFi lending platform where they can put themselves at risk. Like, I don't know how Voyager gives out a $660 million loan and does not get the collateral for it. Like, how does that make any sense? So when somebody reneges on that loan and you are now SOL of 660 million, now you put everybody else at risk. But that's not what's happening to Coinbase, Crypto.com. That's not what's happening to Binance. That's what's not happening to OKCoin. So there's a lot of these exchanges that are fine and they're not really overextending themselves with loans and things like that. So they'll be fine. But it's the ones that you got to worry about that are lending platforms and where they're at right now. And that's what's happened with Luna. Luna also, I think there was some dirtiness going on with Do Kwon. I mean, hell, he's running from the law right now. They can't even find his ass. Brooklyn says, I just bought this morning 40% Bitcoin, 30% ETH, 10% Cardano, 10% Poly, and 10% AVAX. There you go. Can't lose that, dude. Can't lose with that. Those are all going to explode, man. Explode. But I thought it was really cool on OKCoin because I've been checking every day my Star Atlas, and purchasing. I still buy Star Atlas on OKCoin. I don't know anywhere else I can buy Star Atlas. But I was so happy yesterday when I saw that and I moved all my Star Atlas into my Trezor wallet. I was like, yeah, this is beautiful because now it's all in my cold storage and nobody can touch it. So it's a beautiful thing. And now all I got to do is sit back and wait a little while because Star Atlas is not going to grow right away. It's going to take a little while, but when it does, I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. Big O, I want to get into crypto, but don't really know anything about it outside of your crypto corner. Can you recommend any good resources to learn more about it? Yes, sir. I want you to download a gentleman by the name of George. It's called Cryptos Are Us. He's an Asian guy, and he starts out with, I am George, we're all George, okay? He throws that line out there. He's a very level-headed guy, and he talks a lot about, the crypto market, and I think it helps a lot of people, and he answers questions at the end of his show, and a lot of questions that you may have and concerns and things like that. Cryptos Are Us, and it's cryptos, the letter R, and then us, all together. And he also has a site, cryptosareus.com, and it has articles. You want to check that out. You want to also that's on YouTube, and go to YouTube also and download or subscribe to Altcoin Daily. It's a great pair of brothers, and they give you all the crypto news every single day. They do a really good job. And then there's another one called Altcoin Buzz, and it's a girl that comes out and she gives the news too on crypto, on all the stuff going on. So that allows you to keep up with the markets and the things that are going on. Natalie Stoberman is the girl that does the news thing. So that'll help you learn. and start to get a feel for what crypto is. You got to be careful because there's a lot of idiots out there that they do a lot, they in other words, you have the Skip Baylesses of the world doing crypto that all they're doing is trying to clickbait stuff, and they're trying to shock you and trying to just BS you, and you got to watch out with that. You got to stay away from that, because those kind of people will get you in trouble is what they'll do. You want people that are level-headed and they want to, kind of keep things on the straight and narrow all the time, no matter if it's good or if it's bad, but they're telling you exactly what it is. They're not trying to make shit up and create controversy and all those kind of things like we have on radio, that we have people that want to create controversy. They want to be a part of the story and things like that, which is just incredibly unprofessional. Brian says, love how many topics O covers. You get it. You get it all. Thank you, sir. We try. I mean, I know we're a sports show, but we're going to talk about life and music and crypto and business and all kinds of things, going on, because that's what the world is. And that's what I live. You know what I mean? So if I live it, I'll talk about it. Big O, was Mad Dog Mandich before Joe Rose on the radio? Yes, he was on Sports Talk on 610 back in the day before QAM came on. Mad Dog used to do Sports Talk, which was from 5 to 7, if I remember correctly, on IOD. Bo Camper used to do that show. Joe Zagacki used to do that show. I filled in for that show, but I was like 7th in line. I was really, really young in my career. It was my first couple of years. And I would need a lot of people to turn it down for it to get to me overall. Before Pete Bolger picked up the phone and said, oh, do you want to do Sports Talk? It had to be a whole, but like 7 dudes turned it down before it got to me. But Mandich was on, Sonny Hirsch, all those kind of guys back in the day before QAM started. And then we had the Brown Ranger, rest in peace, which I saw Barry Jackson wrote about the Brown Ranger when he was talking about mentioning Hank Goldberg and stuff like that. And, Jimmy Cephalo and Dave Lamont and Joe Rose and all those guys kind of started. John Moynihan, by the way, is the Brown Ranger. And we called him the Brown Ranger because he was always dressed in brown. Okay. Was, just a classic older dude. And so those were the cats that kind of started early sports talk in the late 80s. Yeah. Let's see. What else do we have here? How awkward is it that Coach Flores and Minka Fitzpatrick are union in Pittsburgh? Remember when Fitzpatrick? Yes. We've talked about that, my brother, when it happened already a while back. In the first half of the year, they were using players like Jalen Phillips and Jerome Baker improperly, I guess is what you're saying. Miami's defense would have been closer to top 10, poor scheme decisions. We'll see, my brother. I completely disagree with you, Eric. Like, totally disagree with you. But we'll see. They if they get people that can stop the run, which it doesn't matter who they didn't have any thumpers in the middle at all. And Raekwon Davis did not dominate the way you need him to dominate if you don't have a middle linebacker that can stop the run on a consistent basis. Big O, not sure if you talked about the new Tropical Park Stadium plans on thoughts. We will. We'll talk to Manny Navarro about that at 11:30, my friend. Speaking of that, we are in hour number 2. We are ready for hour number 2. So let's take a quick break and get ready for the second hour of the Big O Radio Show, powered by the legend that is Sean Stanley.
The Big O Radio Show is looking for partners to join our growing platform. If your business is ready to reach an audience that starts in Florida, crosses the nation while expanding internationally, this is the program that provides that vehicle. The Big O Radio Show is ready to broadcast live anywhere in the world to represent your event or product. To reach out by phone, 786-754-4664. That's 786-754-4664. Or email bigoradioshow@yahoo.com. Help us grow as we provide the content and personal connection corporate entities will never achieve.
If you're a Miami sports fan, then there's only one store to go to, and that's Caneswear at Miami Fanwear in Davie. They're your one-stop shop for all your inner Miami CF, Canes, Dolphins, Panthers, and Marlins merchandise. They have hats, t-shirts, game day jerseys, and so much more. Located at 2511 South University Drive in Davie, and open 24/7 online at caneswear.com or innermiamiwear.com. Call them at 954-835-5597. Caneswear, the spot where inner Miami and all Miami sports fans shop.
Welcome to Red Light Therapy, a revolutionary technology perfected by NASA to aid in muscle strengthening and recovery. Red, an infrared light, has the capacity to penetrate deep into the cell's mitochondria, potentially leading to increased energy, faster recovery, and the optimal performance your body demands. Evolve your training and step into the new era of muscle recovery. Red Recover.
Why is it that you get locked out in the worst moments of your life?
Where are my car keys? Man, I can't find my house keys.
In those frustrating moments, you need a locksmith you can count on. A. Lenny Locksmiths in South Florida, from Miami to Port St. Lucie. In Central Florida, A. Lenny locks it down in Orlando and Tampa Bay. Lockouts or lock changes for home or business. Car key replacements and programming all model cars. 24-hour service. Call them at 855-869-5625. Go to the website at alennylocksmith.com.
For over 16 years, EJDconstruction.com has provided South Florida residents quality craftsmanship, accurate project management, and exceptional service. That's why EJDconstruction.com is an A-rated member of Angie's List and the Better Business Bureau. When you're looking for the right custom home builder for additions or home remodeling, please call my friend Eric at 305-433-4843. That's 305-433-4843 for EJDconstruction.com.
The viewpoint statements or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyXS.com, Media Group Inc. ownership, management, sponsors, or website. The Big O Radio Show's coverage of the NBA Summer League is brought to you by Edge Energy Drink. Go to myedgedrink.com and use the Big O and get 10% off an energy drink that's delicious, smooth, and has zero aftertaste. Only 78 calories. Go to myedgedrink.com. Sloman's Total Home Security. Protect your home with the best in the business. 1-800-ALARM-ME for the company serving America for nearly 100 years. 1-800-ALARM-ME. Welton Rayom. With more than 62 years of litigation experience. They're the ones you want when you need to take on the insurance companies. Call Welton Rayom for a free consultation. 954-966-4646. The road trip continues with our coverage of the Slomans.com NBA Summer League. Live from Las Vegas, Sloman's Total Home Security. Protect your home with the best in the business. 1-800-ALARM-ME for the company serving America for nearly 100 years. 1-800-ALARM-ME. Here's your host, Big O.
All righty. Good morning. Welcome back. It's hour number 2 of the program. Hope you all are doing well out there. Thank you all for tuning in and supporting us like you do every single day on the show. Please don't forget to smash the hell out of that like button. It is very, very important. Lenny Peña is in for Port St. Lucie. I like it. I like it. Relentless is in from Madrid. Wow, it's pretty awesome. Out in Madrid catching us. What time is it in Madrid right now? Robert Lund says, my wife worked for Joe Rose's ex-wife. He has 2 kids. Greeting Big O homies. Greater Good is in. Green Lion says, Crowbar coming to Miami. Okay. Am I supposed to be excited about the Crowbar coming to Miami? Is that like, why is that something? I'm not exactly sure. What is it about Crowbar that we should be excited about? I'm not sure about that. I must have missed out on that. Brandon is in Newark. And Wes Kendall for Barbinator. The Barbinator. That's an interesting name right there. It's 5:09 p.m. Madrid time right now. Okay. All right. Wow. So that's 9 hours ahead of us. Wow, that's impressive. Okay. I like it. Bitcoin, by the way, continues to stay over 20,000. I am amazed. There's got to be another little dip here at one point or another. Not much, but I would imagine there'll be another one. Ethereum at 1,089. So again, just incredible buying opportunities right now. Illuvium, by the way, is down 10%. It is down to $96 a coin right now. Just so you know, I'm a big Illuvium guy, and this is a coin that was at $1,700. And it is one of the leading, when it comes to the metaverse, Illuvium is going to be one of the tops. And it's the correction it's had. When that thing climbs back, it's going to climb back and it's going to explode. For me, like, I look at Illuvium. I look at Immutable X that I like, Engine Coin that I love. Which are some of the other ones? Star Atlas that I love. ApeCoin. I freaking love ApeCoin. You know, the other one that I've been taking advantage of a lot is Algorand. I think Algorand is going to be a monster, and it is just one of the steals right now in crypto. Gala's down nearly 5%. It's just under 5 cents right now. It is just one hell of a bargain. That's another one. So metaverse coins are also very important. They are going to bounce back, and they're going to bounce back, I would imagine, really, really strong when it's all said and done. It's just a matter of when. And and to be quite honest, I don't even think it'll be this year. I think we're going to have a buying time for the next 6 more months, at least 9 months maybe. But I think going into next year is when we'll start to see this thing really turn around and explode in the other direction, which is good because it's going to give us some time to accumulate some of the coins that we really enjoy and we think are going to have success, down the line. So yeah, it's interesting. It's a really good time right now to get into crypto because it is so low now and everything has corrected so badly. I mean, look at Tesla. I don't have Tesla stock, but man, if I had the kind of money that I could buy a ton of Tesla stock, I would right now, because that thing is going to bounce back and it's going to explode, and you're going to make a bunch of money off of that. Jesse Johnson says, you are a nice person to listen to and you keep it real. Well, thank you, Jesse. That is very nice of you. So it's a band. I had no idea. I don't know them at all then. I don't know who Crowbar is. What kind of music is that, Chad? What? No, dude, wasn't there a Crowbar, like a bar called Crowbar here in South Florida? Am I going crazy here or not? There was a bar in Miami called Crowbar. That's what I'm sorry. I plead ignorance here. 100% ignorance. I had no idea you guys were talking about a band. I thought it was, Crowbar in Las Vegas. Right, there's a Crowbar in Las Vegas. So you see what I'm saying? And I know that there was a Crowbar in Miami. I'm pretty sure. Listen, I haven't been a bar, fly in decades. I'm married. I'm happily married. That's not my thing. But I remember hearing people talk about that they went to Crowbar in Miami or Fort Lauderdale or something in South Florida. So that's what I thought, that it was coming back to Miami. I'm like, okay, what's the big deal? Sludge metal. Oh, that's probably that screaming shit. Yeah, that's not me, Chad. I can't get into the no, I'm sorry. That's just not I can't do that. I can't do that. Can't. I'm glad I found this channel. Being up here in New England is hard to hear Miami Dolphins and Hurricanes football news. Well, you'll get plenty here. The Green Lion has chimed in with a little love on the super chat, the first one of the day today. Big O, are Marlins just a big bat or two away? Yes, sir. That's exactly it. And I think they need another arm in the bullpen or two that they can count on, because the bullpen fails them a little bit too much too. Also, need some clutch pitchers in that bullpen, maybe one or two more. But yeah, there's no doubt, my brother, they need two more bats in that lineup. Yes. And they need Jazz Chisholm back too, healthy. That would help also to get your all-star player back. He's fun to watch. I really love watching Jazz play, man. He is awesome to play. And speaking of the Marlins, well, yesterday in our liquor split matchup of the night, we gave you a winner. So let's discuss our liquor split matchup of the night.
It's time to tap that app. And no one loves to tap that app like the Big O. Here's the liquor split matchup of the night.
All right. So yesterday, we told you to go with Pittsburgh plus 1.5. It was Mitch Keller and Trevor Rogers, and just lately I haven't trusted Trevor Rogers, but he wasn't bad yesterday. 5 1/3. He did allow 6 hits in 5 1/3, but he only allowed 2 earned runs and did pick up 7 Ks in the process. Now the bullpen, especially the last guy that gave Marcinick the 2-run homer in the 9th, I forgot the guy's name, but yeah, the bullpen, of course, did not help. And so I told you to take Pirates plus 1.5 and we've won with the Pirates a couple of times. And why have I told you? Because while the Pirates are not a good team, they can score runs. The Marlins, well, they're not good at scoring runs. So if you're going to give me a 1.5, then I'm going to take it. And you're not going to put a great pitcher on the mound, because the Trevor Rogers I kind of fell in love with last year is not the guy I'm watching on the mound this year. So we told you to take Pirates plus 1.5. We snapped our 3-game losing streak. So now we're 13-5 now in our last 18 games here in the liquor split matchup of the night. So we are kicking ass in our last 18 games, 13-5. So today it's Marlins and Pirates at 640. Chris Stratton taking on Daniel Castano. Miami is favored by a 1.5. The over and under is 8.5. Pirates are plus 130. Miami is minus 150. You know where I'm going here? I'm staying away from this freaking game. The liquor split matchup of the night, we're going to go with the Yankees and the Reds. The Yankees have Garrett Cole on the mound, who's 8-2 and a 3.26 ERA. Now, he's coming off a terrible outing against the Sox where he allowed 5 runs. Before that, of course, he was lights out. I expect him to get back to being lights out. I expect him to be pissed about that outing the last time out against the Red Sox. For the Reds, they have Graham Ashcroft on the mound. He's 4-2 at a 4.35 ERA. And he has a good start and a bad start. He had a good start and a bad start. He has a good start and a bad start. Guess what he had last? A good start. I'm counting on a bad start. I'm counting on Garrett Cole. I'm counting on the Yankees bats. Reds, Yankees. Yankees are favored by a 1.5. The over and under is 8 runs. Reds plus 255 on the money line. The Yankees are minus 315 on the money line. No, I'm not going to tell you to touch the money line, even though I feel great that they're going to win, but I'm not going to tell you to put $315 to win 100. So I'm going to lay the 1.5 here. I'm going to count on Judge and the boys to rock the crap out of Ashcroft, because good outing, bad outing, good outing, bad outing. He had a good outing last. We're going to have a bad outing now, and Garrett Cole have an even better outing. I'm going Yanks minus 1.5 runs against the Reds today for my liquor split matchup of the night.
The matchup of the night is brought to you by Liquor Split, Miami's own online liquor store. Liquor Split. Download then tap that app and get your favorite liquor delivered to you for just $2.99. No risk, no drinking and driving. Tap that app with Liquor Split.
Thank you out there. Good luck to all of you. And hey, it's just the kind of betting advice that I would take myself. So it's up to you all out there. We're only 13-5 in our last 18, so we're not doing that bad. Chad says Crowbar is a brutal band, possibly not your cup of tea, but they're great musicians. Okay. Damn, I'd do the bull run in Spain, though. I would be in pain. Yes, you would be. And I would never do a bull run. By the way, I never feel bad for anybody that gets run over, gouged, trounced, whatever by the bulls. You know what I'm doing? I'm laughing my ass off of your stupidity. Okay? Because if you choose to run in front of a bull that weighs 1,400 pounds and has the kind of power that can break you in half, then you're an effing idiot. All right? So, and I have no sympathy for you. None. I don't care what happens to you. I don't care if you only pick up a scratch. I don't care if you lose an arm. I don't care if you walk sideways for the rest of your life like a crab. I don't care. You chose to get in front of a bunch of bulls, and you thought that was a good idea. Fun, exciting. Oh, my God, I got to have it. No, dude, that's your problem. Okay? So when I see somebody get trounced or gouged by a bull or whatever, I laugh at them. In real time, I'm laughing at them. I have no sympathy for them whatsoever. I have zero sympathy for stupidity. Zero. No understanding, no stupidity, no compassion, nothing. I have nothing for them. I will laugh at them. That's what I will do. So I root for the bulls, not for the people. Okay? Let's just put it that way. I'm an animal lover. All right? So I'm rooting for the bulls to gouge every single one of those idiots that are running in front of them. That's me. I sit there in the TV. I have a shirt on that says, "Let's go Bulls." And I'm not talking about Chicago. That's what I'm doing. Crowbar was where Rebar was in Miami Beach on Washington Avenue. Ha. I knew that. Not that it was in Miami Beach. I wasn't exactly sure if it was in Miami or Fort Lauderdale, but I knew there was a Crowbar. Not that I ever went to it, but I heard about people going, "Oh, I went to Crowbar. I don't want to compare them to Pantera, but Pantera likes So to Speak. That's the only band that I like out of that heavy stuff is Pantera. But Pantera has a groove to their music. I love Pantera. They're good. Liba says Crowbar was located at 1445 Washington Avenue. Thank you, Liba. Appreciate you. Jonathan Cagle reminds everybody, let's hit that like button. I agree. Fat Boy Swag for Life says, Big O, do you like hard metal? Yes, dude, I love heavy metal. Heavy metal. I don't like thrash metal, screaming metal, that kind of stuff. That's not my style. It's got to be a Judas Priest, Rob Halford, real voice, Ronnie James Dio, real voice, Bruce Dickinson, Iron Maiden, real voice, Klaus Meine, Scorpions, real voice. I got to have a real voice behind the power of the music. Mastodon, real voice, those kind of things. I can listen to hard metal and heavy metal, but the singer has Anthrax, Joey Belladonna. He's got a great voice. And Anthrax is hard, and I love Anthrax. I'm a huge Anthrax fan. But I need a singer. I cannot, like G-War and, things like that. I can't listen to that stuff. That's just not my style. I gotta have talent behind the mic. If the guy doesn't have talent behind or the woman doesn't have talent behind the mic and they're just screaming, I have no interest whatsoever in that. Nico says, I went to a bullfight in Spain years ago. It was awful watching them slowly kill a bull by making him bleed. Exactly. That's why I root for the bulls in the bull run. Yeah, I couldn't watch a bullfight. That's not something that, as I've gotten older, I am much more what's it called? Animal cruelty is something that bothers me even more as I get older. Just bothers me a lot. So I could never watch a bullfight. Never. Stupidity of the bulls since the Middle Ages. Have they been doing that since the Middle Ages? It's been going on that long? What a bunch of idiots. Mastodon is prog metal, best band in the world, though. They are terrific. They are fantastic. I do like Mastodon. They can sing. They got harmonies. They're good, man. They're good. I didn't know much about them. I learned about Mastodon a few years back when I went with a buddy of mine to Red Rocks to go see Les Claypool's band, Primus. And when you go see Les Claypool, you go see the bass. You don't really go see the singing. You know what I mean? Not that he can't sing, but his voice is nothing special. It's all right. It's there, whatever. But you go see one of the greatest bassists to ever play is Les Claypool, if not the best ever. Okay? And I'm a Steve Harris guy. For me to say that, it hurts a little bit, but I have to give Les Claypool, the respect that he deserves. And I went to see, and Mastodon was opening up, and I freaked out when I saw them live. They were awesome. Awesome. Really impressed with Mastodon. Really impressed. They can sing, man. Let's see. Big O, if the Miami Dolphins have a season, you think he's going to be a coach of the year? Well, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see who's playing, who else is coaching. I don't play that hypothetical stuff. That's who knows? We'll find out. But if he plays well, if he coaches well, he'll have an opportunity. The same people complaining about animal cruelty probably are the same people that eat beef, chicken without a problem. There's a difference between animal cruelty, that when you have to kill something in order to eat and survive, or when you're killing for sport and you're making something suffer and die in front of others for entertainment. I think you got to understand the difference. 6193 on that. Huge difference. Okay? Survival is one thing, but killing for the purpose of entertainment, that's cruel, dude. Okay? It's not cruel that you got to eat chicken and they got to kill chickens. And so they breed them to kill them. You know what I'm saying? So I get that. I understand that. That's gone on since the beginning of time. That's called the food chain. It happens in the ocean every single day, right? The bigger fish eats the smaller fish, and the bigger fish eats that bigger fish, and the bigger fish than that eats that bigger fish. That's just kind of the way of the world. That's how you survive. But killing for sport, dog fighting, bullfighting, all that kind of stuff, yeah, no. There's a level of animal cruelty, and then there's obviously the slaughtering of animals in order to provide for food. Not that you want to go watch them slaughter animals. Big O, if Mike McDaniel has a monster year, how soon will other teams start? Oh, God. Can we just wait to have a good year, first of all, before any of this silliness we get into greater good? When you hunt 95% of the time, the animal dies instantly. Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. That's the way it goes. That's for sure. I'm with you there. What else do we have here to talk about? Let's get ready for a little Manny Navarro action. Huh? Not there yet? Okay. All right. So we will now talk to Manny. There has been some talk now from Ruiz and company about a stadium. So I have not addressed that because I was waiting for Manny to kind of, give us the skinny, because he's going to know more than we do normally about all this stuff. So we'll get the latest from the Miami Hurricanes stadium proposal or ideas or anything along those lines, if they're able to even come close to pulling something like that off. Don't forget the great bassist, Jaco Pastrius, who hailed from Fort Lauderdale. Who is that? Jaco? I don't know who that is, Doug. You got me stumped there. All right, let's get Manny Navarro on and our Caneswear Miami Hurricanes report.
If you're a Miami sports fan, then there's only one store to go to, and that's Caneswear at Miami Fanwear in Davie. They're your one-stop shop for all your inner Miami CF, Canes, Dolphins, Panthers, and Marlins merchandise. They have hats, t-shirts, game day jerseys, and so much more. Located at 2511 South University Drive in Davie, and open 24/7 online at caneswear.com or innermiamiwear.com. Call them at 954-835-5597. Caneswear, the spot where inner Miami and all Miami sports fans shop.
The viewpoint, statements, or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyXS.com, Media Group Inc. ownership, management, sponsors, or website. Time for Canes fans to get what they want. Information, insight, and perspective. It's the Caneswear Miami Hurricanes Report with Manny Navarro, exclusively on the Big O Radio Show. Here's Big O and insider Manny Navarro.
Righty, there he is. How you feeling, my man? You feeling good?
I'm doing great, brother. How about you?
I can't complain, my brother. I am moving along just like Mario Cristobal, adding Jaden Wayne now. I mean, it just seems like every day there's a commitment from a 4 or 5-star player to the University of Miami. That has completely changed here, where you couldn't get a 4-star or 5-star to commit. Now, again, we need him to stay here and, a year later actually really take the field with the team and all that kind of stuff. But I know these kind of commitments are, only good for so long until we actually really see them get out on the field. But what can you tell us?
Yeah, really good pass rusher. Another one of these two-sport kids. He plays basketball as well. Another, a kid that ultimately 6'5", 245, already built to come in and contribute and play right away, a top 100 player. The way I look at it, I know all the recruiting services, they make a lot of money getting you to buy subscriptions, right, to get all this news and information. But really, I mean, they developed all this interest, right, in creating 5-star, 4-star, 3-star. And a big part of this whole Jaden Wayne thing, I don't know if you noticed, but when he committed to Miami, he went from being a 5-star an hour later to a 4-star. And I know the fan base got all bent out of shape over it. Here's what I'll tell you. Usually, if you're a top 100 or top 150 recruit, okay, if you're one of the elite kids, it doesn't matter if you're a 5 or a 4-star. Usually 9 times out of 10, you're going to pan out and be a really good player at the next level if you're coached right, if you do what you're supposed to do. So I think for Miami, big win. They're getting a lot of top 100, top 150 type players, and that wasn't happening before. And Mario Cristobal is doing it without coaching a game. So he does it because he's got great relationships. He does it because he's got the support of John Ruiz and NIL, right, which didn't exist before. No. But ultimately, I think he's doing it because he's a great recruiter. Okay, he gets on these kids when they're in the 8th and 9th grade, and that's what happened here with Jaden Wayne. He's first offer, right, when he was at Oregon. All of that matters to these kids. These relationships matter to these kids. They wouldn't be coming here if they didn't trust Mario Cristobal. Bottom line.
Okay. All right. So talk to me now about speaking of Ruiz,
yes.
Stadium talk now again is back.
Mm-hmm.
What have you been able to unearth from all this stadium talk?
Well, listen, he's obviously trying to make a push here to get the University of Miami to build a stadium closer to campus, and Tropical Park is a place we've all been talking about for a long time.
The only place.
The only place, really. Right. There's as far as being closer to campus. So, he's got these plans drawn up. He put them out last night, him and his sons, and they're kind of the first real image of what his vision is, right? Because we've heard him talk about it. Well, this is their plan. This is what they think it would look like. Now, whether or not this has been discussed at the highest levels at UM and whether or not we're to that point is another situation. But this is his pitch. This is his plan. This is what he would like to do with the University of Miami going forward. All that said, we're still a long ways off in my mind from getting anywhere in terms of the school saying, okay, this is what we're going to do.
Well, you also have to get the city to allow it to happen, right? I mean,
absolutely. That's another huge step, probably even bigger step before you can get the school. Yeah. But again,
because they are giving away a public park once they do that.
Correct.
Because the stadium and the parking and all that is going to take up most of the space of Tropical Park.
Correct. And
you know what I mean?
And we're not there yet. I know the fan base is excited about these kind of things, and rightfully so. I mean, any type of progress, vision for the future, positive vision for the future, you get excited about. But again, the reality is we're a ways off. I have yet to hear any commissioners or city council or anybody even in UM's administration sort of acknowledge, hey, this is what we're doing. So I think right now this is more Ruiz based. Obviously, he's been talking to people at the university. Obviously, he's probably had conversations with people in the city and discuss these things. You don't go through this process without, having some level of conversations. But whether or not it gets approved and the money and all those other factors, it's still a long way off.
Yeah, no, and you look at the renderings and everything. There's a lot of construction that would have to be done there, besides the stadium parking. You know what I mean? And you've got to, I don't know, you're gonna have to maybe even redo some of the roads, the infrastructure to get in and off, the ingress and egress, in other words, of the highway. Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of work that would have to be done for that whole thing to work out. But here's the thing. That's the only place they have. There is no other piece of land available. And then the question I have is, and that is, see, here's the thing. Some people don't realize this because they don't live around here like I do. I live around that area. That's a popular park.
Yeah.
That's a park that's used by a lot of people every day. Weekends, it's packed. And once you put that stadium in there and everything else, you're going to take away a lot of the amenities that park had. And I wonder how the city is going to feel about that, because what are their options? What other parks do they go to? And like Tropical Park, there's nothing even close to Tropical Park anywhere near that right now at this point in time.
No, not at all. Look, is it a pipe dream? Is this never going to happen? I don't want to say no. I'm never going to sit here and completely dismiss it, because obviously when you have money and dollars behind it and people who want to make something like this happen, you have to say it's a possibility. But you're right. I mean, there's that Tropical Park, the location, between traffic and the amount of people who are there all the time. I mean, people who play on those fields, right? The softball and baseball fields that they have there.
Basketball is constantly,
soccer,
the parties that are there,
the picnics, all of those things. Yeah, but listen, things change, right? And who knows if at another point here in the years to come, there's another location where they could create a park similar to that. I don't know. I mean, it depends on the housing developments and what area is actually available.
It's just so developed where that area,
right,
that there's nowhere to go anymore. It's just, this isn't West.
Yeah,
where you have some space and you can build into the swamps and all that kind of stuff.
Right.
That's not the way it is, dude. That's the heart and soul of the city right there where you're at. I said, what chete? It's loaded, bro.
Right. Right.
I mean, it's just.
Yep.
I live in that area, bro. I drive all through there. There's just nothing. Everything is houses already. Everything's been built for 40, 50 years already.
Yeah.
Everything, So,
Yeah, I don't know either. I think I know the other place was Melreese, right? Like, oh, let's do this together with the soccer stadium and combine
that makes
it.
sense. That makes sense.
So I don't know, man. I think
Melreese doesn't have the importance that Tropical Park has.
No, not as far as
Just
location.
doesn't. I'm sorry for the judges out there that go play at the golf course because I've been told that's really what's kind of what's
stopping it. They love golfing there.
Yeah, the real juice is that there's a bunch of judges from Dade County that actually play.
And Ray Allen, right? He's
that's like their private course practically. And so
Mm-hmm.
really those are the people who are kind of getting in the way. Outside of that park is not used like Tropical Park, bro. Not even close. And I'm thinking, Tropical Park with its lakes and everything, what are you going to do with those lakes? You have to refill those lakes? How do you know what I'm saying? It's like, what do you do to build everything up? Because once you start building stadiums and parking garages and things like that, you're not going to have a lot of space left over. So for it to be a public park on top of all of it, that's one of the things I like about Moss's plan, that it's structured in a way where it has a lot of the park space still available. You know what I mean? A lot of practice facilities and all that kind of stuff. And so they did keep a lot of that there in that. So that allows that. But at Tropical Park, man, you start putting a stadium and parking and, and there's going to be all kinds of other things that they're going to add to it. And eventually you just lose the park. Period.
Yeah. You're right. Can't argue with you there, brother.
Yeah. All right. So any other news happening in the Canes world that we should know about outside of recruiting and John Ruiz's stadium?
Yeah. Well, I mean, listen, the ACC Media Days is about 10 days away right now. So you're going to be able to actually start hearing some interviews and Mario talking about the team and, camp, I think is going to be starting right at the beginning of August. So, I mean, we're not too far away from the real thing getting rolling here. Now, from a recruiting perspective, they're going to be adding a few kids here. I think today, most people are expecting them to get a commitment from this 4-star linebacker, Raul Aguirre, whose father played at Columbus, and he's originally from Miami. But he's one of the top linebackers in the country. Alabama wanted him. It looks like Miami's going to end up getting him when he announces. I think he's doing it at 3:00 this afternoon. So there'll probably be a new commitment. And then in the next couple of weeks, I mean, there's a lot of good kids that they're in on, especially offensive linemen. Samson Okunlola, the 5-star out of Massachusetts. You have this kid Peyton Kirkland out of Orlando, a 4-star. A lot of offensive linemen, really good. And I think, Miami could potentially have the best offensive line class in the country this year with some of the kids that they're going after. So we'll have a bunch of commitments here in the weeks ahead, but today you'll most likely the linebacker Aguirre out of Georgia will be committing to Miami.
Well, that is good news there. That they're going to get another commitment. I just really impressed, man, how he has this quickly. They haven't played anything. Can you imagine? Can you imagine if they actually play well this year?
Yeah, and that's the whole thing. Is
that's nuts.
Yeah, I mean that again, it's a testament to him as a recruiter. And I know last week people were talking about they were kind of upset on Friday that they didn't get Jalen Brown, the 5-star receiver out of Miami Gulliver Prep, whose father, by the way, is a statistician at Miami Heat games. So I got to know his dad over the years, covering the Heat for the 3 years that I was on the beat with them. But he'd been telling me about his son and that he's probably going to go away to college. And the one thing I will say is a lot of these commitments Miami are getting, they're not local kids, they're the out-of-state kids. So
right.
I think you can give Mario a lot of credit for what he's done on the West Coast and getting all these West Coast commitments. But here in Dade County and in Broward County, he still kind of has to convince some of these elite kids that, hey, Miami's a different place. They've been living here for their whole lives. They've seen UM struggle for a long time. I think winning on the field, you talk about this being a very successful season. I think winning on the field this year is what's going to really be the difference with them getting some of the local kids to buy in. That said, and while people were lamenting the Jalen Brown loss, I will say Hakeem Williams, who's I think the Broward County Athlete of the Year. He won a state title in basketball. 6'4", 210-pound receiver who reminds me a lot of Andre Johnson. They're in on him heavy. He's a 4-star kid out of Fort Lauderdale, Stranahan, big time kid. If you end up getting him, even if you lose Jalen Brown to LSU, that's a big pickup for Miami if they're able to get him here in the recruiting circle. So, again, a lot of things happening. Miami's in on a lot of good players, but you're right. Football season, it's going to matter. It's going to matter. They need to win 9-10 games this year to get these kids to sign on the dotted line come December.
No, but if they win 9 or 10, they're going to get others to, or 11. They're going to get others to actually decommit from other places.
Oh yeah,
commit here. That's my point. That if they actually win,
oh
my God, if they're already committing now, you know how fair weathered things are. You start to win, then they definitely want to join you.
Oh, absolutely.
So that's why everybody goes to Alabama. It's not only that you're going to play, you're also going to win, dude. You're going to get showcased. So if that happens here, wow. I mean, it's impressive, dude. It really is impressive because you kind of expected some of this after they start playing well.
Right. I didn't expect these commitments to come in the summertime, to be honest with you. I thought
neither did I.
This would be happening during the season.
Right.
But, so many of these kids now, the other part of this is, and we're all kind of getting adjusted to the new calendar, but, June has become such a huge month in recruiting because that's when all these elite kids take official visits. And so it's kind of like a phase where the elite kids lock in, commitments to certain schools, and then they have to be recruited the rest of the year until they sign in December. So that's what's happening is the calendar's changed. Before, you wouldn't get as many commitments over the summertime because the kids were still taking trips in the fall and waiting until December and all that. But now so many official visits take place in June that it kind of speeds up the process. So that's what's changed here in the last couple of years. But ultimately, Mario has done his job. He's gotten all these kids to visit. Okay, I'm talking about elite kids from all over the country. And he's gotten the ones that he's had great relationships with to commit without even coaching a game. So,
right. Yeah. Impressive stuff as always. All right. What are you working on at the Athletics so folks can check you out, my friend?
Yeah. I mean, listen, Overtime 7-on-7, the one that I attended last month, I'll be having a story coming out on them. They are kind of, you talk about, these TV companies, ESPN and Fox and super conferences and getting people to tune in and watch. Overtime is a company based out of New York City, and they're very involved in the basketball circuit. They had a lot of the elite, basketball players in the country basically go to their school or their quote unquote camp to play either their senior year of high school or their first year of college before going pro. Well, now they've kind of ventured into 7-on-7 football, and they had that camp last month, and so they recorded 4 days worth of content. They're going to start rolling it out this week. But their target audience is 13 to 35. And we know, you and I, we'll sit there and we'll watch games from beginning to end. But today's generation, the millennials and the, Generation X, which I'm a part of, but basically, Gen Z, basically, they will watch clips. And so this Overtime companies essentially created a whole bunch of social media content with over 50 million views. And, they're talking with TV companies about the way that they film things with drones and all kinds of. So we'll see if maybe this is the future of the way sports goes. You know how there's always copycats, right? The pros and the college, they kind of, the high school innovates, and then the colleges and the pros kind of look at it and say, hey, we like this concept. So I'm going to have a story on Overtime and what they're doing with their content and 7-on-7 football and of course Canes recruiting, man. I mean, that's nonstop. And then we'll get into camp, man. We'll have some previews. I'll make some predictions. I'll have 5 questions going into camp. All that stuff will be coming out here before I'll be writing it before I go on vacation this Friday. I'll be finishing it on, leaving it all for to be posted when I'm gone.
They're allowing you to take a vacation?
They're forcing me. I've literally.
Oh, okay, that's what I figured. Of course,
I think I've got over 250 hours of vacation I haven't used yet. So
yeah, I figured Rojas is kicking your ass out. Okay, that makes a lot of sense. Go get rest.
Yeah.
Go, stop writing.
Get out of here. Get out of here.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah. It's exactly. That was my wife just a couple days ago. Leave. Go to Vegas. Get out of here for 10 days. You know,
Yes, get out of my hair, please.
It's the same thing. It's the same. The same. Follow him on Twitter at Manny_Navarro. Catch his work there at The Athletic. More importantly, subscribe like I do. Okay. I paid my Athletic membership yesterday. I think it was, or the day before.
You did. All right. Appreciate that.
Every single month, of course. I support you many ways.
Yes, you do, brother. Yes, you do.
Anyway, no, we appreciate it, bro. We appreciate it. It's a together thing, brother. It's a together thing. We're all one family, and we're rocking and rolling, which is good stuff. Can't wait for football season, man. I can't wait. I can't wait to have something to talk about, but because to prepare for this show today was near impossible, bro. There's nothing to talk about. Yeah. I mean, thank God for John Ruiz that he threw out some
renderings
talk there. It's like, hey, thanks, John.
Hey,
talking point. Yeah.
Well, I made this point with my podcast earlier today, which, by the way, that's something people should check out. I got Andrew Farrelly from South Florida Express to come on and talk about all this recruiting. So if you want to hear more of it, but one final point before I let you go is, if it wasn't for recruiting being, 12, I mean, what would college football fans do? Right. I mean, this has made it year round. This recruiting thing has made it year round. So it kills the waiting time before football camp starts.
Yeah, it does. Big time.
Yep.
All right, man. Well, we'll catch you later on in the week.
Yep.
Before you go on vacation. Manny, as always, thank you, my brother. Appreciate you.
All right, take care.
You got it. There you go. The great Manny Navarro, our Caneswear Miami Hurricanes report.
If you're a Miami sports fan, then there's only one store to go to, and that's Caneswear at Miami Fanwear in Davie. They're your one-stop shop for all your inner Miami CF, Canes, Dolphins, Panthers, and Marlins merchandise. They have hats, t-shirts, game day jerseys, and so much more. Located at 2511 South University Drive in Davie, and open 24/7 online at caneswear.com or innermiamiwear.com. Call them at 954-835-5597. Caneswear, the spot where Inner Miami and all Miami sports fans shop.
Ah, yes. Let me see a second. I'm just sending something here. All right. There we go. All right. By the way, we got coming up, Omar Kelly will join us here at the top of the hour at noon. Anthony Chang will join us at 12:30 now. And what's it called? George Richards will be at 1:00. So we will have our back-to-back interviews there and set it up. Boys had to adjust a little bit the schedule, so we accommodated and adjusted. All right, so you guys are filling me in on Jocko here, which apparently thank you, because I did not know about him. I think I'm going to be doing some YouTubing this evening when I get back from covering sports. Ragin says Rick Beato's Music YT channel talks about Jocko a lot. That's the only way I know who he is. As a bass player, Jocko is one of the GOATs of bass players. Dougie Fresh says, most bassists list Jocko as one of the greatest bassists, not just jazz heads like Sting, Herbie Hancock, Flea, Claypool, Geddy Lee, have them at the top. Trujillo of Metallica made a documentary about him. Wow, okay, I gotta check it out. And retractable roof, Rosendo, I don't know if they'll build it or not. Who knows, man? That you're asking something. Manny's not going to know any of that, my brother. None of us are going to know that because, it all comes down to costs and things like that. But it would make sense to build a retractable roof. That it would. Victor Wooten is up there for me as well as one of the best bass players. All right. John Paul Jones, not just a bass player, but a musician as well. You know who John Paul Jones is band now? You guys know? My Crooked or Them Crooked Vultures. That's his band. John Paul Jones from Led Zeppelin. So don't know if some of you know that. Maybe most of you don't even know who the hell Them Crooked Vultures are, which, by the way, good band. I like them. John Paul Jones is the bassist of Them Crooked Vultures. Big O, my spider senses are tingling. I think Riley just might pull off that KD trade. All right. But Pablo, if it doesn't happen, we now know your spider senses suck. Okay. I just want you to know that. Just in case. All right. Because we have to go the other way also. Maybe it happens and your spider senses were on target. But if it doesn't happen, okay, you must remind yourself every once in a while when your spider senses are tingling, you got to say, yeah, no, that's just, yeah, no, that must be somebody tickling me. That's what it is. It's not that it's tingling. Oh, I gotta go tinkle. No, it's not that it's tinkling. Okay, so I'm just saying. Lemon Song bass line, one of my favorite bass lines of all time. Lemon Song is a great song. Then again, it's Led Zeppelin. You know, how many albums of Led Zeppelin could just play and let it go, dude? Because it's just one after another. Those son bitches were way ahead of their time. They were so good, man. When it comes to making music, God, they made so many great rock and roll songs. It is just mind-boggling how good Led Zeppelin was. It really is mind-boggling. I am impressed always with that. I know this is old news, Big O. When we drafted Tua in 2019, who was it that Cam Flo wanted in that draft instead of Tua? Lenny, what, you never tuned into the show again? Like, are you serious? Like, serious, Lenny. Like, you like you heard me talk about that and you never heard Omar break the story, finally you find out who it is. I knew who it was the whole time. I just couldn't say. You still to this day don't know the name? Like, it was all over the news. Like, people were talking and all that. Like, you still don't know to this moment? You never went back to our podcast? You never went back to YouTube to see, hey, did O talk about it? Because we talked about it many times. You can always tell the people that really don't listen to the show. Like, you know, that, oh, no, I listened to the show. Yeah, no, I heard you mention that Jordan Love thing like 4 months ago. Yes, it's Jordan Love. I had a friend of mine like that a couple weeks back. You know, I just caught him in the bullshit. And it's like, dude, it's all right, bro. You got a life. You don't want to listen or you can't listen or whatever. That's good. But don't tell me you're listening because I know you're not listening, you know? It's like, oh, yeah, no, I'm sorry. Bro, you don't have to apologize. It's fine. It's all good. But don't bullshit me, man. You know what I mean? Because I'm going to call you out for the bullshit, you know? Them Crooked Vultures is one of those super bands. Good stuff there. Yes, they are. They're very good. I love them Crooked Vultures. El tipo está perdido. Yes, Josh. Lenny Peña is completely perdido. Like, you know, you could tell that that's not a dude that listens to the show often at all. You know, once in a blue moon, he listens. But hey, I appreciate it. Once in a blue moon, we appreciate it. At least once in a blue moon, you'll tune in. In your opinion, who's the greatest band, the Beatles or Zeppelin? It's, you know, it's one of those things that's subjective because the Beatles fundamentally are the greatest rock band of all time. And it's not even close because they influenced Led Zeppelin and everyone else. You know, every rocker from the 60s through the 70s and maybe even to the early 80s will tell you that moment that I saw the Beatles on the Ed Sullivan Show was the moment that I knew I wanted to be a rock and roller. So the influence of the Beatles itself could make it that they are the greatest rock band of all time because they started rock and roll, basically. I get Elvis Presley and some others and things like that, but that rock and roll, because Elvis was like a rockabilly type of it wasn't really mainstream. It became mainstream, obviously, because it's Elvis. But what I mean is the Beatles music became like, worldwide phenomenon. Everyone was on top of that. And then it's continued all the way through till today. And more people now, even younger people, listen to the Beatles more than they do Elvis Presley, probably than they do Led Zeppelin. Okay? So I would probably give the Beatles the title of the greatest rock band of all time because they showed you how to do rock and roll with Helter Skelter or A Hard Day's Night or whatever, and everybody went off of that. How many people have redone Helter Skelter? All kinds. And that's why, because the Beatles, they created all kinds of rock and roll in their albums. And to me, they are the foundation of the general title that is rock and roll, because they're the ones that influenced more bands, more musicians than anyone ever could. So I would have to give it to, I'm not telling you that if you tell me, hey, you're stuck on an island, Beatles or Zeppelin, I'm probably going Zeppelin, but I'm going to be objective and I'm going to tell you that the impact that the Beatles had, God, it can't even come close, dude. Can't even come close. And then what, you talk about John Lennon's career and you talk about, Paul McCartney's solo career on top of all of that they then continued. And George Harrison also had his own share of success too at the same time, the late George Harrison. So, yeah. So I would probably give it slightly to the Beatles. Have to, because of the big picture of it all. Okay. Big O, I listen to you a lot. Sometimes I can't listen to you all the time because of work. I just missed that piece of info. Well, dude, you missed a lot because we talked a lot about it. All right. Speaking of we talked a lot about it, this is the man we talked a lot about it with, Omar Kelly, and our EJDconstruction.com Miami Dolphins and NFL report. That is next to start off our number 3. For over 16 years, EJDconstruction.com has provided South Florida residents quality craftsmanship, accurate project management, and exceptional service. That's why EJDconstruction.com is an A-rated member of Angie's List and the Better Business Bureau. When you're looking for the right custom home builder for additions or home remodeling, please call my friend Eric at 305-433-4843. That's 305-433-4843 for EJDconstruction.com.
The viewpoint statements or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyXS.com, Media Group Inc. ownership, management, sponsors, or website. The Big O Radio Show is home for the hardcore Dolphins fan. That's why we give you Omar Kelly twice a week. Buckle up. It's time for the EJDconstruction.com Miami Dolphins report, exclusively on the Big O Radio Show.
There he is, ready to rock and roll. How you doing, my friend?
I'm actually not ready to rock and roll. I'm about to tell the people that I'm joining your show right now.
Okay, so why? So that means you're ready to rock and roll, right? I mean,
you gotta give people the opportunity to click the link, baby.
Well, I mean, they know, they know right now we're talking with Omar, and they know how to tune in on Tuesdays,
Not the. I mean, that's the usual crew. You gotta continue to build that audience.
Always.
Always. What was this debate you were having about the Beatles?
Oh no! Somebody asked me. I don't know if you're the right person to have this conversation.
I'm the wrong person to have this conversation with, but I do want to know the question.
Well, the question was who's the most influential rock band, the Beatles or Led Zeppelin? Again, I don't know if I want to have that conversation with you.
I couldn't name one Led Zeppelin song, and Beatles is cool,
Like I said, the Beatles are the most influential rock band ever. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
You answered my question in a way because I said they reach more people in general, the Beatles. And
What's a Led Zeppelin song?
Exactly. There you go.
No,
wait a minute. Don't you know Stairway to Heaven?
Maybe.
Really? Yeah, he's got to hear. He has to know Stairway to Heaven. You've heard Stairway to Heaven, bro. You've heard Dust in the Wind from Kansas?
I don't know. Maybe. Like, I'm not a rock dude. So
no, I know that's why.
Yeah, I'm sure maybe. Like, do they play at stadiums?
Well, they used to sell out stadiums, but yes.
No. I'm saying, do they play the songs at stadiums?
Yeah. Oh no, not Stairway to Heaven. What would they play in stadium? Led Zeppelin? I don't know if they're still playing Led Zeppelin in stadiums. No, I don't even think at football games they'll play AC/DC, not Led Zeppelin.
Yeah, like anyway.
They'll play the Beatles. This is why, some guy, and listen, with all due respect, some guy, sent in, he says, what was it that he said to me? He says, here it is. I think the younger generation of rock bands from the early 2000s, 220s would say bigger influences are Zeppelin, Queen, and Aerosmith. And I would say, Anthony, you're wrong because, the Beatles are a band that reaches everyone one way or another. I Want to Hold Your Hand, Hey Jude, whatever it was yesterday. Those songs somehow or another will reach everyone. Even a person like Omar Kelly will know several Beatles songs.
Absolutely.
Because it's just
Yellow Brick Road. I know albums.
That's Elton John.
Really?
I think you're thinking about Yellow Submarine is the one you're thinking.
No. What's the one where they're walking across the street? You're
talking about Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band.
Probably, maybe.
Okay. Maybe that's probably where you're. Oh, you're talking about Abbey Road when they're
Abbey
walking?
Road. There you go.
Okay.
Abbey Road.
Think about this. Omar's talking about Abbey Road, and he can't say anything about Led Zeppelin. That's all you need to know.
I can't name you one. Is Led Zeppelin a band or a person? Can't name you one person.
It's a band. It's a band.
See, can't name you one person in the band. Who's in Led Zeppelin?
Robert Plant, Jimmy Page, John Paul Jones. What's it called? Bonzo. What's it called? Bonham. John Bonham. Now, and the Beatles.
I can name you all the Beatles. So yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, I gotta hear this. Give me all four Beatles.
Paul McCartney, Bono. No, okay, no.
That's you too, bro.
Yeah, sorry.
Okay, Paul McCartney, let's go.
Paul McCartney, the one with Yoko Ono,
he was killed.
You give me brain
in New York
fart.
City.
Huh? John, I said Paul McCartney.
Yeah, you got John. John, keep going. John. When you buy a bad car, what's it called?
John Lennon.
There you go. I like it. Okay, you got two now.
What's the drummer one? I watched documentaries on them, and I'm like, I'm very disappointed.
Well, the drummer, he has a name that you would give your dog. Bobo.
No, that's Bono. No.
Think, I don't know, circus? I don't know.
Clown? No.
It's with an R.
Ringo.
There. Whoa, my
Ringo
God.
Starr. Yeah.
There's no way you get the fourth one. No. There's no way you get the fourth one. Okay? I will stop doing radio for the rest of my life.
It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen.
It's George Harrison. You're not going to get it.
Okay.
You're not going to get that one. But let me tell you something. You proved my point on it. By the way, Sean, can we put on the air? God, it is hot, bro. Anyway, so yes.
I'm disappointed because I've watched.
Me, how old is Omar? What are you, in your early 40s or late 30s?
I'm at 45.
45. Okay, there you go. So
and in junior high, I went through a period where I listened to nothing but 70s music. Why, I don't know.
Oh, that was smart. 70s music is amazing.
Yeah, I don't know. I was just
Eagles, Earth, Wind, and Fire, Commodores.
But it was like mostly 70s rock. And I don't know why I went through that period. Maybe I don't even think it has. Most of my periods have to do with a girl. So periods in like music and life and changes, but that one didn't. It was just a little weird. I was reading Judy Blume books, not the children's versions, the X-rated versions. People don't know she wrote X-rated stuff too. And listening to 70s rock in 8th grade.
All right. But nothing wrong with that. 70s rock is just absolutely amazing. It's good stuff. Let's see. My guitar gently weeps over Omar, is what Kevin Bear is saying. Ringo Starr and George Harrison. Come on, Omar. I didn't Google it.
I didn't Google it either.
He didn't Google it either. No, Lenny, he did a great job. Okay. If you know Omar, he's not a rocker.
I'm disappointed in myself because I've literally watched so many documentaries. There's like a good one on Showtime or HBO about them recording their final album. That was so amazing.
And
I was so consumed by it, and now I can't even name them and put Bono in there. Like I don't even know where that came from.
Well, nothing wrong with a little U2. It's
what group was Bono in?
It is still in. It's U2. It's Bono, Edge. They're there in U2. Little Larry Mullen Jr. Yeah, I'm sure you knew
and to Big O, what is the greatest hip hop group of all time?
Okay, so how do we define greatest of all time? Do we define it on the influence? Or do we define it on the success?
I think we have to marry influence and success.
Well, then I got to go Run DMC then.
That's a good one. That's a good one. I'm
not going to tell you Sugar Hill Gang.
No.
Those are influential.
It's funny that you say that because I've been asked that question many times and they've never been my answer, but that is a very good answer. Literally, they are the first album that I ever owned. However, I would make the argument that Outkast has been far more influential because they opened up a whole different region and a whole different sound of hip hop.
Yeah, but I mean, these guys started hip hop. Like they made.
Yeah, they didn't, but they made it more mainstream. And
right, that's what I'm saying. They crossed over with Aerosmith. They revived Aerosmith's career. If it's not for Run DMC, Aerosmith might have died. Because they were on life support, my brother. Like seriously, life freaking support. If it wasn't for Run DMC, they may never have gotten to the next level of success. They actually had more success after Run DMC than they did in their early part of their career because Pump and all those albums were just absolutely monstrous. You know what I'm saying? So. The reason why I give her Run DMC is because of the success and the influence. You know what I mean? And that's where I have to give them a little bit and longevity too. You know, if they don't kill Jam Master Jay, maybe we still have Run DMC doing things.
No, DMC is basically quit because they're still. I mean, they were still doing things maybe 10, 15 years ago. DMC basically. Yeah,
but what I'm saying is. After they killed Jam Master, there was no new music out.
They still did work. They still did work. They still did work.
I know they do work, but you kind of lost it after that. You know what I'm saying? Just they weren't the same. But I mean, when I think about it, LL Cool J has to be influential. Snoop Dogg has to be.
Yeah, but they're not a group though.
No, they're not groups. They're not.
And I'll put Wu-Tang up there as well. Because
there's like 800 of those guys there.
12, but yes, it's very fair. And
they have kind of like changed a lot over the years. That's the thing about Wu-Tang. And by the way, I give them credit that they, even with the changes, they kept having success, which is not really normal. Right?
Correct. Yeah. I mean,
when you turn over enough people, you usually lose it.
I mean, they never turn over anybody. It's always,
or it's just the same group, but they kind of filter in and out. Is what you're saying?
correct. Yes.
Okay. All right. I mean, yeah, Wu-Tang could be in there. I don't know. I'm trying to think of some other ones that I would put in that mix. That would bands. See, that's the thing. Bands.
Groups.
Yeah, or groups, whatever.
Yeah.
God, who else would I put in there? Let me see what MC Hammer. No. NWA. I like. That's a good one.
Yeah.
Very influential.
Okay.
Beastie Boys. Beastie Boys. That's also phenomenal right there. That's a great one, especially for white people in rap. Wow, white people can rap too. Yeah, all right. So yeah, I think he kind of opened up.
That's the first CD I ever owned.
Beastie Boys. I mean,
License to Ill.
And remember, they went and they mixed it up too with their rap. So they were very influential in their own way.
Absolutely,
Remember, these guys were actually musicians too. So they would actually play bass and guitar and stuff like that. Even on stage, they would do that at times if they wanted to. So
I have no disrespect for Beastie Boys. Not at all. They were the first CD I ever owned.
Tribe Called Quest is actually very good too.
That's a good submission. That's a good break.
I don't know if their catalog's enough to be considered,
no, it's up there. They got a good 4 strong albums.
Right.
I think they have more strong albums than Wu-Tang does collectively.
And Public Enemy's another good one too. Problem with some of those, with Public Enemy, at least we have a longevity thing with it too. You know what I mean? He's my favorite voice of all time, by the way. That's my favorite voice. Chuck D. That will always be my favorite rap voice of all time. What's your favorite rap voice? I've got him, and then I've got damn it. They killed him, bro. What's his name? Not Tupac. Biggie. I love Biggie's voice.
I would actually go. My favorite rap voice is probably Shine, which people. It's just a very authentic voice. But anyway,
okay.
If we're just doing voices,
right? Yeah. Voice, yeah. Chuck D for me is the god. He is my favorite rap voice of all time, man. The power, the authority that comes out of that voice is just absolutely freaking awesome.
Here's a confession.
Yes.
Never been a big Public Enemy guy. Like,
really?
Respect them. It just wasn't my time period, and just never aligned with where I was then at that time. I'm more of a
but the music's so good, bro.
Yeah, I mean,
and the lyrics are amazing. I mean, the lyrics are.
Yeah. I would more NWA than Public Enemy. It just wasn't where I was at that. Like, you're asking me where I was in 4th grade. I wasn't aligned with Public Enemy in 4th grade.
Right. No, I get that.
Yeah. And then when I got to the music, it was, outdated, not relevant, didn't really hit in terms of like where music was. So it's like, just never did it for me.
Well, still some of the political awareness from it. Still,
no, I respect it all. I respect it all. It just never did it for me. Never liked. Never got Flavor Flav. Never understood it.
He's a character. Yeah.
And I respect it. I appreciate it. I value it. It just was never for me. And this is a confession that is not very popular.
Yeah, no, I mean, Terminator X and the boys, I love, man. Yeah. One guy says Ice Cube has the best voice. He does have a great voice. That is a good one right there.
Yeah.
Got to give it to you there because he is awesome. And then obviously somebody brought in Eminem, which
come on, that's ridiculous.
One of not voice, but definitely lyricist, one of the best.
Yeah. But voice, come on.
And flow, and his flow is also just.
Yeah, we're not talking about flow or.
No, yeah, I know, but yeah, right, exactly.
Lyricist, we're talking
that's what I would give Eminem the love, is the lyricist and the flow and all that. He's just absolutely amazing. All right, getting ready for Dolphins camp. I was talking about this earlier today. It's been a great off season. You know why, Omar? no injuries, and nobody arrested. That's a really successful offseason before you get to training camp. I know we have 2 more weeks left until, the veteran. Well, the youngins report on the 19th, but the 27th, I believe, is for the veterans. So we still got about 2 weeks left, but that's what I call a successful offseason. No major injuries that alter your season and no arrest right now. I like it.
Yeah, I mean, okay. Yeah. No. There are injuries that they had in camp that.
No, but that's nothing. Teron Armstead,
Mostert,
and all that. I mean, those guys are set to be ready for camp, right? They're on target to be. Well, I don't know. Will Mostert be ready for camp? Armstead will be, but not Mostert, right?
I don't pay attention to the lies that they tell, because when you heard Mostert when he signed, he's like, "Oh, I'm fine. I'll be ready for OTAs and whatnot. I'll participate in OTAs." And I'm like, and then he doesn't participate in OTAs. I would start all of them on PUP and move from there. The one that troubles.
Well, no, Armstead looked like when he was in those drills. He looked like
he didn't do drills. He didn't do drills.
No, but those things that he was doing, that it looked like he's not really like. It was more precautionary, holding him out.
Yes, he'll be ready. He'll be ready for camp. And from what I understand about Mike McDaniel and the tree that he comes from, they're not into pushing veterans, especially injured veterans, and they don't care about veterans participating in the OTAs. They keep veterans on a pitch count and really limit their practice participation. So Mike McDaniel's from an organization and a team that takes care of his veterans. So that's good. That's healthy. Wow.
By the way, Horn Dog wants to ask you, what makes Outkast the greatest duo if they change their music content every album and it was still great music?
What makes them? I think they're a great duo because they are a yin and a yang. They were 2 polar opposites that together made magic. I think, yes, they changed their albums and grew and evolved. And as they grew and evolved, we listened to them grow and evolve, even up until that final album where they made 2 separate albums and really didn't intertwine with one another. I think that the lyricism is, people always give Dre credit and praise for his lyrical ability, but I give Big Boy the same amount of credit and praise, and Big Boy put it where you could reach it. Their beat selection was pioneering. Their videos were groundbreaking. And to this day, they're probably still, if Outkast said right now, we're going to do a Vegas residency for 30 days, I'm sure all 30 days would be completely sold out. If they did a arena tour, I'm sure all arenas, they're probably the biggest equivalent to a rock star group that we have in this culture, just because they're Outkast. Imagine if Outkast did like a American tour of stadiums.
I'd like to see them.
No, it's on my bucket list.
I don't know if they would fill stadiums. I'm not sure about that one. Arenas.
I think they did when they you might be right.
Stadiums is tough though.
You might be right.
There are very few acts in the world.
And you're a concert guy, so name the rap groups that can do stadiums.
I don't know if there's a rap group.
Jay-Z does stadiums.
Jay-Z, Eminem.
Yeah, I don't think Eminem can do a stadium anymore.
Really? You don't think so?
I think Eminem has fallen off so bad.
Well, he has fallen off because obviously he doesn't do music like he used to.
Oh, he does music. Nobody.
Well, but I mean, I've got his last 2.
Thank you.
They're not where it used to be.
I don't comment on Eminem because people always get in their feelings about my thoughts on Eminem, which is that he couldn't make a hit right now if his life depended on it. If you put him,
his time ran, bro. That's it. It just is what it is.
Well, so why is Jay-Z's time not ran?
Some people have the magic, some don't. Madonna,
but they're both comparable lyricists.
Madonna can change with the decades and continue to have hits. You know what I mean? But then
Madonna can't make a hit.
Huh?
Madonna can't make a hit right now either.
Oh, but dude, she's 80 years old now at this point. Omar, please.
Not 80.
Okay, she's 68. Whatever, bro. I mean, give her a break already.
There's
She's
got to be a
done at this point.
68-year-old who wants
She had a hit just a couple of years ago, but she started in the 80s, dude.
I know.
Way before any of these rappers we're just talking about. She was doing hits way before them and hits after them, bro. She was doing hits she had 100 hits before Eminem hit the market, and she still had hits after Eminem has been off the market. Come on, dude. I mean, Madonna is a freak out of all freaks in many ways, by the way. You know, give her credit. She's just old at this point. I mean,
but 68-year-olds want to hear some music. They listen to music too.
But how many 68-year-olds are still making big time records? It's just, you kind of run out of gas at one point. Paul McCartney's still touring and filling stadiums, but he's not having hit records anymore at this point. And he's in his 70s or 8. No, I think he hit 80 actually. By the way, Paul McCartney's filling stadiums. All right. He's 80 and he does 37 song sets.
Respected.
Respected. That's a god, bro. How the hell do you do that at 80 years old? You're still jamming 37 song sets. And that's because you have a catalog of 100 hits.
Jay-Z could do that too.
Exactly. I think Jay-Z's an arena guy, not
Jay-Z's a stadium guy. Jay-Z, you know what? His last tour was actually stadiums.
No, but he was.
No, I mean we're arenas.
Arenas, yeah, we're arenas. And
you're right. His last solo tour was arenas. He does stadiums when he links up with his wife and with Justin Timberlake.
She can fill stadiums.
Oh yeah, she's the greatest performer I've ever seen in my lifetime.
She and Taylor Swift can fill stadiums out of the pop side. And you know who can fill stadiums too now is Billie Eilish. She can fill stadiums if she feels like it. She's a monster. She's a super talent. She's got a hell of a voice. You like Billie Eilish?
Don't really know her that well. I know her songs, but I'm not familiar.
What a talent, man. 18 or 19 years old. She's gifted. Got to give her credit. But these people that are able to stay a long time in the business, that's sick stuff, man. When you're able to still make, music late into your career. That's why the Eminem thing is not out of the norm, that he's not making hits anymore. Very few of them can still last as time goes on. You know what I mean? Jay-Z's what his last hit was the New York thing, right? With Rihanna.
444 something OJ.
Oh yes. Okay. It wasn't as big as that song, but yes, you're right. It was.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think I don't like Jay-Z's commercial big successes because those are just washed out. Those are just mainstream songs.
No, but that's a gift that you do it multiple ways, my man. That's awesome that you can do songs that the mainstream will like, and then you can do songs that your hardcore fans will like. You know what I mean? You satisfy everybody in the process. So you got to give him a lot of credit for being able to still do it on any plateau. You know what I'm saying? So you got to give Jay-Z a lot of love for that, man. He's and I actually like him more I respect him more as a business guy. Him and Dre have been amazing away from just making music. All the other things that they've done.
Business decisions, yeah, absolutely. No question.
They have been monsters. They're smarter, like Ice Cube too, is the same thing. With his acting and all the other things that he's done.
Acting, producing, those
guys have been really smart. Yeah. Snoop too. Snoop did the music, but then he branched out, and he is as mainstream in corporate America as anybody gets, and yet he's still Snoop, which is, that's an interesting twist, that you can still be yourself and be as mainstream as possible.
That's the most important thing that I've taken from Jay-Z probably this decade, is that there's a popular quote about him being who he is in every room that he walks into. I'm myself. I walk into every room as myself.
Right.
Not pretending to be something that I'm not, and not, putting on false pretenses. Like this, accept me for who I am. And I've taken on throughout my life that same approach. If you want to do business with me, you got to accept me for who I am and what I'm going to bring to the table. And I have idiosyncrasies and quirks.
Right.
That just comes with me.
I'm with you. All right. So what are you working on this week on a very slow week for the Dolphins in the South Florida Sunset?
Not a slow week for me.
What do you got?
Tyreek Hill consistently continues to make news with needs to be said, bro. They should put a bro on the end of that. I put out my list, of my top AFC teams. My top NFC teams are up there now. And we're writing training camp primers. Like, these are the 10 things that are the running themes of training camp that this team needs to have success. So we're beginning that process now.
All right. Follow him on Twitter at Omar Kelly and catch his work there at the South Florida Sun Sentinel. Always appreciate it. We'll catch up later on in the week, my friend.
All right. Talk to you later, Bigo.
You got it. There you go. The great Omar Kelly.
You've been listening to the EJDconstruction.com Miami Dolphins Report with Omar Kelly. For additions, home remodeling, or custom work, call Eric at 305-433-4843. EJDconstruction.com is the custom home builder and general contractor you can trust. 305-433-4843.
Edge energy drink. Go to myedgedrink.com. I tell you all the time, the best energy drink on the planet. Delicious, smooth, and zero aftertaste. When I tell you zero aftertaste, I mean it. It's going to freak you out. Because more often than not, when you try these energy drinks, that's what they have, an aftertaste. And it is nasty. I hate it. I can't stand it. That's why I rarely ever had any kind of energy drink, because of the damn nasty aftertaste. Well, I tried Edge, I don't know, about 6 months ago, and it was phenomenal. Okay. And delicious, smooth, zero aftertaste, and only 78 calories. John and company have done an amazing job. It's a great elixir. Go check it out for yourself. You can order it online. Can't get it in a store. You got to go online, myedgedrink.com. All right. And use my code BIG. You will get 10% off your order. myedgedrink.com. I promise you, the best energy drink on the planet. You don't have to get up and go to the store or anything like that. Just have it delivered right to your home and you get 10% off. myedgedrink.com. Delicious, smooth, and zero aftertaste. All right. We're out here in Vegas. We got the Summer League going on. Anthony we were hanging out with Anthony yesterday covering practice. We'll see him later on this afternoon for the games. But now we're going to talk to Anthony Chang and our, of course, liquorsplit.com Miami Heat and NBA reports.
Let's tap into the latest with the Miami Heat and our Liquor Split app Miami Heat reports with insider Anthony Chang. Liquor Split is Miami's own online liquor store. Download, then tap the app and get your favorite liquor delivered to you for just $2.99. No risk, no drinking and driving. Tap that app with Liquor Split. Here's Anthony Chang.
All right, so there we go. He is ready to go. The man, the myth, the legend that is Anthony Chang. How you doing, my man?
Doing good, Big O. How are you?
Very good, very good. You know, when we left you yesterday, we went and had a little lunch at a new place. And I don't know if you've been doing a lot of cruising around, but have you been to Sicky's Garage here in Las Vegas?
No. Where's that?
It's where you know where that shopping center is at, right off of Las Vegas Boulevard on I think it's the south end of the Strip. Do you know where that's at?
Okay. I think so.
The Apple store is there. They got all kinds. It's like a really cool place.
Yeah.
Well, they've got a place called Sicky's Garage there, bro. The food was awesome.
Very good. Awesome. It's good to know. It's good to know.
I'm telling you, I had a chicken parm sandwich yesterday there that was just absolutely phenomenal. You had the hot beef sandwich, I think it was called. And man, I tell you, Sicky's Garage. If you want to go somewhere to eat,
I have one more day to head out there. Our trip is coming to an end.
Yeah,
That's
very
good.
reasonable price, by the way. It's not expensive or anything like that. So really, really good placement. God, the food was really good yesterday. All right, so let's get into it a little bit. First of all, Jovic, his injury just looks like it seemed like yesterday when we were with him, he's all right. It's not like a serious thing overall. It's just, being skinny and not carrying a lot of meat. You're going to get banged up a little bit in this league.
Yeah, I mean, he said he had knee in the quad, so a quad contusion. He didn't practice yesterday. They didn't rule him out for today's game, but you'd have to imagine he didn't practice yesterday. They might keep him out just to be safe, right? I mean, it's summer league, especially with the back-to-back tomorrow. Maybe you keep him out today and have him play tomorrow. So we'll see if he's able to play, but the fact they didn't practice yesterday and tomorrow there's another game, I wouldn't be surprised if he's held out today.
Yeah, I would imagine so. Talk to me a little bit about Orlando Robinson. What have you seen from him? What do you like? What are you concerned about?
First of all, he's really skilled. Basically, I think he's right under 7 feet. So basically a 7-footer with a 7'4" wingspan. So he has the measurables. He has the size. He hit, as his college career went on at Fresno State, he hit more and more threes. He was a pretty good three-point shooter last year in college. Hasn't shown that part of his game in summer league because the Heat are obviously using him as a inside presence. So I guess we'll start there. He's a skilled player. He could pass the ball. You can run offense through him. He can hit mid-range three-point, jumpers, which is good for a 7-footer, for a guy his size. The concern with him when kind of doing some research on him has always been his athleticism. He is not athletic. I mean, well, he is athletic. He plays basketball, but compared to others, he's just not. That's not his strength. I think he had one of the lowest verts in the combine, in the pre-draft, one of the pre-draft combines. And he's admitted as much. We talked to him. I think you were there, Big O. We talked to him yesterday at practice, and he was saying, that's always been something that I've had to work on. I know I have to get better at it. Some of it is just, getting stronger, strengthening my base. But, it is what it is. Like, he's never going to be the most athletic guy. It's just about trying to maximize what he can get out of his body. So I think that's the concern is, will his lack of athleticism kind of hurt his chances of being a real, a consistent rotation level NBA player?
Well, I mean, some people think he could challenge Yurtseven. I kind of think he's behind Yurt right now. How do you see it?
Yeah, I do too. I mean, Yurtseven, he played when he got NBA minutes last year. He was sensational.
He was good, man.
He was putting up in dominant rebounding numbers. So just the rebounding alone, that's something you can't teach. We saw it even in summer league last year. And Yurtseven, what did he average in summer league? 20 and 12, right? I mean, Orlando Robinson's been good, but he's not averaging 20 and 12 in summer league. So I would say definitely Omer's ahead of Orlando at this point.
What are they expecting from Omer? What are they? Because when we talked to what was Orlando, he was talking about how the other day, it wasn't yesterday, it was a couple days ago when we were talking to him. He was talking about how they have him focused more. It was right after the game, more on the inside part of the game, not the outside for the 3-point shooting. And I think it's because of what you said. They want to get him more fundamentally sound around the basket and more physical and rebounding and all of those things before they work his game out. Whereas for Yurt, I would imagine that Yurtseven's goal this year is to try to fine-tune that offensive game, whether it is around the post or 16, plus feet away.
Yeah, I agree. I think Orlando right now, they don't want him to think too much and ask him to do too much, right? So just be a traditional center, score around the basket, do what you can in the paint. He has that as part of the game, a 3-point shot, so that's good that it's there. But the Heat aren't asking him to do that right now. With Omer, honestly, like last year, he took a few threes in summer league, but it was almost the same thing. He really didn't take that many threes. And then this last season in the NBA, he took, I think, 11 threes total. So they weren't asking him to shoot 3-pointers, even though he could. Omer, we've seen it. Omer's a pretty good shooter. He has good mechanics, and he can hit them. But this year, I mean, I would think they would want him to take more, especially if they're going to ask him to play with Bam more, right? Because we all know there's a hole at power forward. I guess Caleb Martin right now would probably be slotted as a starter. But because of how thin they are at that position, there is a chance that Omer and Bam could play a lot more minutes together this year if this is the roster they move forward with. And if Omer plays with Bam, we know Bam isn't shooting threes at this point. Omer is probably ahead of Bam when it comes to the three-point shot. One of them is going to have to make at least take threes and be a threat to space the floor.
Right.
It'll probably be Omer. So if that is the plan, to play Omer with Bam a little bit more, I would think three-point shots are going to be a bigger part of Omer's game this season.
Yeah, because you have to understand that Jimmy and Bam aren't really three-point shooters.
No.
So then all of a sudden now now there's more pressure on the other three guys to be really good in that area. So that's why if you're going to put another big man out there, he's got to be able to shoot. Now, on the flip side, there's a lot of guards here in this summer league.
Mm-hmm.
And there's, you got some big guards like Highsmith, and you got smaller guards too. But when I look at that team right now, the Heat, where they're at with their guard position, what's the realistic number out of any of these guys to get any playing time? Possibly one?
Yeah.
And maybe I'm thinking Highsmith might be that guy because of the physical nature that he brings to the game. He's 6'7". He's a big guard / like forward in a way. I can see him adding, an element to the game overall. But when you look at all these guys, who's the guy that might end up cracking some part of the rotation? Let's put it that way.
I think the one guy that could get some consistent minutes this year is Highsmith. And it's not, and I would say it would be a power forward. To me, he's a power forward in today's NBA. He's like 6'7", 6'8", long wingspan, big body, kind of could play that quote-unquote PJ Tucker role. Guys have compared him to PJ Tucker this summer because he does little things. He's not like a flashy player, but you look up at his the box score and he has 14 points, 7 rebounds, and 4 assists. Right? Like it's like, whoa, when did that happen? He's been impressive to me. He's been consistently solid. He looks to me like you can kind of tell when a guy looks like an NBA player in summer league. Like Max Strus last year, he jumped out. Like you couldn't miss it. Like he belonged in the NBA. Highsmith to me kind of has that feel. Like he looks like an NBA player to me. He's under control. He plays at his own pace. So I think he's the guy, especially because they need guys to contribute minutes at that position at power forward. So I think he'll get a real chance to play this season. The guard, they do have a lot of guards. You're right, Big O. But the guard I would say that probably has the best chance, maybe finding a role on this team if there's injuries or if there's a trade and they need bodies, is Marcus Garrett. You talked with him after the game a few days ago. He has an elite NBA skill. Like that guy you put him on the court right now, he could be a lockdown perimeter defender. That's no question. Like he is a great, great on-ball defender. Probably would be one of the best on-ball defenders on the roster right now. The question with him is always offense. Can he do enough offensively? That's always been the question. We still don't know, right? I mean, he had one good game in Summer League. We'll see, obviously, if he gets invited to training camp and if he spends time with the Heat next year, if his offensive game has grown. But just with his defense alone, I think there's a role for him in the NBA, and there could be a role for him with the Heat.
Yeah, he is Briante Weber Part 2.
Kind of, yeah.
If he can figure out the offense, then he'll stick. If he can't figure out the offense, then obviously that'll be a detriment to him because it's funny because a guy like that could survive in the 90s. You could bring him off the bench as a defensive specialist and all that. But in today's game, if your offensive game is too weak, it's just you're too much of a liability. And it's funny because it's just like defense isn't that – okay, it's important, but it's not important to the point that, okay, yeah, we'll take you even though you can't play offense. Right. No, that's going to be a problem in this league. All right. I saw Barry Jackson reporting, but, you're here and so I'm here. And so I kind of laugh about it. He reported that Sean Marks and Andy Ellisberg had a meal. But, dude, go on social media. Sean Marks and Pelinka everywhere. You know what I mean? Sitting over here, standing over there with Woj, over here, different shots. Sean Marks with Masai Ujiri.
I saw that one, yeah.
Same shit. It's like, and again, Sean Marks played for the Heat. Right. So they could be just talking as friends. It may not be anything serious. Now there may be something to it, but I didn't want to make it sound the way it kind of sounded in the report, like, Sean Marks, and let's also look around. They've got Sean Marks with everyone else. Every time he's talking to somebody else, somebody's taking a pick from that specific beat, which, by the way, I haven't seen a James Jones Sean Marks, which tells me that's the trade that's going to happen.
Right, exactly.
All the other ones.
Because they're being conspicuous about it. They're not eating at a restaurant in a major hotel in Las Vegas, right?
Right.
Yeah, I mean, you see how it is here, Big O. Like, there's NBA people everywhere, right?
Yeah.
Like, it's impossible not to run into somebody anywhere you go in Las Vegas this week. So, yeah, I mean, I think it is interesting that obviously they were sharing a meal together. But like you said, we don't know the context around it, right? Could Durant have come up? I mean, yeah, I wouldn't be surprised, right? I mean, that's the elephant in the room, right, between the two of them. But they also have a past. Like you said, Sean Marks, a former Heat player. Andy Ellisberg helped sign him to the Heat.
Right.
I'm sure they're friends. So there's a lot there that, I think it's interesting, but I don't want to make too much of it.
Yeah. Jesse M says, move Bam to the 4. Bam gets better every year, and he's only 24. He's too small to play center, i.e. Embiid. First of all, there's only one or two Embiids. There's only one Embiid in the world, but there aren't guys like that anyways that you have to defend night in and night out.
Right.
And two, I would say to Jesse M, and I don't know if you agree with me, when he starts to become really good at a three-point shot, then maybe you can move him to 4. But outside of that, you can't move him to 4 if you're not a stretch 4. And if you're not going to, and Yurtseven, what are you going to do? Put him at center, but yet his offensive game is not there either? That doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
Yurtseven doesn't have a post game, and he doesn't have a consistent outside game yet. So what are you going to do? None of that really makes sense. Does it make sense to you?
I always have said I think Bam is a 5. I know people want to push him to a 4, but I think he's a 5 in today's NBA. He scores he's in the paint. He lives in the paint. He does most of his work in the paint. To get him to play as a 4, then you're saying you're playing a 7-footer and Bam, who is 6'10" or 6'9", but plays like a center. That doesn't work in today's NBA.
Nope.
These two big lineups. I mean, that just doesn't work in today's NBA. So I think Bam is a 5 in the modern game.
Yep. All right. So what are you hearing anything on the Durant front? Just out of curiosity, because we had Iron yesterday, and he asked me, "Would you trade Bam, Tyler, and 2 first-rounders for Durant?" I said, "In a heartbeat, I would do that. In a heartbeat, I would do that because you're giving me that other star next to Jimmy. You can fill out the rest of the roster and figure things out, but you give me that other star next to Jimmy." And if I'm keeping some of the other guys, because if I'm giving away those guys, well, then I still have Strus. I still have, Duncan that can shoot. I still have Kyle Lowry running the offense. I can use Yurtseven. I don't need his offense nearly as much with Durant and Jimmy Butler and Kyle and Strus and some of these other guys. And I expect Caleb to become a bigger part of what's going on this year. I think you can fill out everything else. Would you make that trade if it's Bam, Tyler, and 2 first-rounders?
I don't know. I think if I'm the Heat, I do everything I can to pull off this trade without Bam and Jimmy, if that's even possible.
Right.
I just.
But what is?
I also think Kevin Durant, one of the reasons he wants to come to the Heat is to play with Bam and Jimmy. I really do, and I think that's what makes this whole situation complicated. The Nets want the world for KD, right? As they should. But then KD doesn't want to go to a team that's gutted. So
I get that, but what's the world without Bam in it? What is a realistic? Don't give me those fan trades that I get on the Twitter machine.
Yeah.
Hey, we'll give Duncan Robinson 4 first-rounders and Caleb, and they'll give us Durant.
Yeah.
Oh, bro, no. It's
not
the best. So
the best you could do.
Bam, give me a realistic trade for Durant.
It would have to be Kyle, Duncan, Tyler. If they want a couple of the young players like Gabe or Max or Omer, you include them in there. You can give them 3 first-round picks if you amend the protections on the OKC trade and 3 pick swaps. That's the most they could do. 3 pick swaps, 3 first-round picks, Tyler, Kyle, Duncan, and a sweetener if they really like one of the Heat's young players, Jovic or Omer or Max. So that's the best they could do.
You can't trade Jovic anyways.
You can't trade for 30 days, but it's been almost a week already, and they could agree to the trade. And like Wiggins, when LeBron went back to the Cavs, they traded Wiggins after signing him, and they had to just wait for it to become official. So it could be done. It's just it delays the process. So that's kind of, I think, the offer I would make if I was the Heat and try to like, I mean, it doesn't seem like anybody's meeting what the Nets want, right? So if you wait it out and Durant really wants to go to Miami or Phoenix, if those are the two teams he's really only considering, then he'd have some leverage. So to me, that's where I would be right now if I was Miami.
All right, good stuff. What are you working on in the Herald so folks can check you out, my friend?
Well, obviously, we're keeping tabs on everything Kevin Durant and Donovan Mitchell and all that stuff, but it just seems like things have quieted down a little bit for now. But we have all the summer league coverage you need, features and all these guys that maybe you don't know about. Game coverage today, we'll have a story from the game against the Hawks at 7 p.m. in Las Vegas. So just check MiamiHerald.com for all your Las Vegas summer league coverage.
There you go. And we'll see him this afternoon. Well, it's this evening for you all at 7 o'clock. The Heat on the Hawks. We will be here watching it. Anthony, myself, Sean, Ira, all the contingent that's out here covering the Heat Summer League and the NBA. It'll be at 4 o'clock our time, 7 o'clock your time. So we'll keep you updated on everything else going on. Anthony, we'll catch up later on in the week, my friend. I appreciate you as always. Thank you for taking some time.
See you later today, Big O. Thank you.
You got it. There you go. Anthony Chang with our liquor split matchup of the night. What happened to this guy? What happened now? Here we go. All right, there we go. All right, so that is Anthony Chang in our liquor split matchup of the night.
You're now tapped into the latest with the Miami Heat. This has been the Miami Heat Liquor Split Report with insider Anthony Chang. Download the Liquor Split app and enjoy your favorite drinks at wholesale prices. Delivered right to your door in minutes with a flat fee of $2.99. VIP lifestyle without the VIP prices. Tap that app with Liquor Split.
That's it, baby. Tap that app. That's what it's all about. We await George Richards. He is next. We'll talk a little hockey. Not a lot going on either. It's just one of those times of the year right now where there's not a lot. Well, I think free agency starts tomorrow at 6 o'clock, I think, or is it today at 6 o'clock? Now I'm confused. I got to look it up. But I think actually it might be today at 6 o'clock, actually. So we will talk to George. Look it up for me. I'm pretty sure I actually think now it's today. Yeah, I think it's today that they do it. You guys see Masters of Puppet from Metallica hit the Billboard Hot 100? That's impressive, dude. A lot of you have been telling me to watch, Tomorrow, 6 o'clock. Okay. So a lot of you have been telling me to watch Stranger Things. Well, Metallica's Masters of Puppet garnered 17.5 million streams last week, thanks to the final episode of Stranger Things, which aired on July 1st. It's now entered the Billboard Hot 100 chart for the first time ever. All right. They're a massive band, obviously. Metallica. They've had a total of 16 singles land on the Billboard Hot 100, seeing 10 highest charting songs here. They've got the list there. It's all good. But thanks to Stranger Things' epic Final Four season finale of season 4, which featured Eddie Munson shredding along to Masters of Puppet, the track has entered the Hot 100 for the first time ever, despite it being about 36 years old, as the song continues to go viral because of the Netflix series. It could very well make it to the top. Kate Bush's 85 single, Running Up That Hill, A Deal with God, has been continuously climbing the charts and going viral on TikTok as a result of the show too. That song from this woman, Kate Bush, it's one of those songs that kind of sounds cool at the beginning, but then gets annoying as it continues. That song. I can't necessarily sing it. I know the song, really well, but it's just one of those. A couple of days ago, the educational music company Musicians reported an increase in its Patreon interest in learning to play Masters of Puppet. More specifically, that interest was up 1,700% since July 1st, which is the day that Munson's heroic scene in the show finale was released into the world. Apparently, Stranger Things does a great job with its music and the way they set up the scenes and all that. And apparently they tie the music to the scenes really, really well. That's what I'm told from Stranger Things fans. That's what my daughter tells me. She loves Stranger Things. She's got shirts and sweatshirts and all kinds of stuff. But pretty cool story with Masters of Puppet actually making the climb. Hot dog at Costco is safe. That's right. How many? I have not eaten the hot dogs at Costco, but I'm told that people swear by them. They love their $1.50 hot dogs and drinks. Well, Craig Jelinek, the CEO of Costco, when asked if he would raise the price of the signature food item, he said no. He says, our sales are strong, even though as retailers have spoken about consumers becoming more budget conscious and spending more on services instead of goods. It's also avoided another recent problem for many retailers, excessive inventory that's racked up in warehouses and stores, which was now must be packed away and marked down. So yet amid a nearly 4-decade high inflation, Costco has raised the prices on some food court staples. Earlier this month, the chicken bake jumped from $2.99 to $3.99. 10-ounce soda from 10 cents to 69. So they asked him about the hot dog soda combo for $1.50 for decades. And he said, nope, we're not changing. So if you want your hot dog and your Coke from Costco for $1.50, you are still going to be able to get it. Now, they may be raising the membership prices to Costco soon because they do it every 5.5 years. And it is time now. So they are getting to that point. Okay? You never know. All right, 855-912-1056. That's 855-912-1056. If you want to get in on the Welt and Rayom text line, that's 855-912-1056. If you want to get in on the Welt and Rayom text line, you can also reach out to us on Twitter. That's at Big O Show. Like it there, folks. Sad story with Marion Barber. He passes away from a heat stroke. This is a young man still. So the former Cowboy running back died of a heat stroke in a tragic accident in his Dallas apartment. The medical examiner determined they said that the 38-year-old's heat stroke was not caused by weather. According to USA Today, Barber was discovered in Frisco apartment when a neighbor reported water leaking from his residence. And they conducted a wellness check, entered the apartment, which had a bathtub faucet running, and the thermostat set at 91 degrees. Apparently, Barber exercised in sauna-like conditions, and police noted the equipment in the apartment. Something clearly went wrong sometime at the end of May. Barber's family had not heard from him in 6 days when his body was found. Sad. I always admired that guy. He played the game the right way, man. He played hard, dude. He ran hard. But the sad part is that you pass away and 6 days later is when they have to go find you. That's just one of those, man, that, sad. All right, let's do it. Let's get ready for hour number 4 and George Richards and our ALennyLocksmith.com Florida Panthers report.
Time for the Lockdown segment with Florida Panthers insider George Richards. This lockdown is brought to you by A. Lenny Locksmith Services. Count on them 24 hours a day. Go to the website at ALennyLocksmith.com. Here's FloridaHockeyNow.com insider George Richards.
There he is. Follow him on Twitter at George Richards. Make sure you subscribe to Florida Hockey Now like I do. How are you doing, my friend? You doing all right?
I'm good, man. What's going on?
Life, man, life. Well, you wrote about Ben Sherratt. What's going to happen with his ass? Are they going to keep him or because we got free agency starting tomorrow at 6:00? So what happens with Big Ben here? What's your gut tell you, my man? Well, wait a minute. Are you muted? Oh, we lost him. He dropped.
No, I'm here. Can you hear me?
He's back.
Yeah, my car's being old my car's being all goofy today. I'm late to an assignment, so we're doing it mobile, baby.
Okay, no problem. We could do, but that's the world today, man. I got no problem with doing it mobile.
Yeah, I haven't had to do this in a while. Yeah, no, sorry. Ben Sherratt, yeah, I don't think that he's coming back. I think he's actually at the low end of what the Panthers would like to do. And until they make a trade, in the next couple hours, they have no money to do anything. So you're looking at Sherratt, you're looking at Giroux, and you're looking at Mason Marchment all disappearing from the Florida Panthers.
Oh, the Marchman one is going to piss me off. The Sherratt is going to piss me off because you gave up picks. You gave up stuff to get him, bro. You didn't.
So same with Giroux, though. I mean, you gave up a lot. You gave up more for Giroux than you did for Sherratt.
Yeah, that's right. Actually, you gave up more for Giroud. So this is not going to be a good look for the GM if he loses these guys because he gave away all this stuff to kind of rent. I get it. If you win the cup, nobody gives a shit. You know, fine, whatever. They're gone. Hey, bro, we got the cup. That's why you made the trade. Ugetherbina. Remember, it really wasn't a great trade.
No, it wasn't.
In the end, it was a terrible trade because you gave away a player that almost had Hall of Fame, caliber for him. And really, Nen ended up doing enough for you that you didn't really need Urbina that much in all of that. But you won the World Series, so nobody gave a shit.
Nobody cares because when you're eating the cake and you're celebrating, you don't care how you got there.
Right.
But when it ends like it did for the Panthers, listen, Bill Zito went all in on this team. We talked about it. He was playing poker. He put all his chips in trying to win the Stanley Cup. If the Florida Panthers even get to the Stanley Cup finals, nobody cares. He went all in. Last year was the team where you were able to do it. And now he doesn't have any draft picks, so he can't even make trades right now to unload contracts because the teams that you would do that with, they want the picks, and he doesn't have them now. So we thought they would be able to make some deals at the draft. They were not. We saw Arizona take on a contract from Edmonton, I believe, and you saw what the price was. It was a first-round pick plus an additional second. Guess who doesn't have a first-round or a second-round pick? The Florida Panthers, because they've already traded it away. So.
Wow. So this kind of takes a shine a little bit off of Zito there because this didn't work out for him, unfortunately, and he's done a marvelous job.
Yeah. But not his fault. I mean, he expected this team to do a lot more than they did. We all did. Can't really blame Bill Zito for that. He went all in. He bet on his guys, and his guys ultimately let him down.
So what happens now starting tomorrow? Because you know the league way more than I ever would.
Yeah.
So I see no movement from the Panthers. I'm wondering, are people – they don't want to help the Panthers just in case because they're damn good? And you know what I'm saying?
People don't help you. People help you if you get something back in return. And again, you would be able to trade some contracts to the Buffaloes of the world, to Arizona. But to do so, you've got to throw things in, and that's draft picks, that's prospects. Florida does have a lot of prospects. You might be able to say, well, we don't have a first-round pick, but if you take X and Y, which clears up I'm just throwing numbers, it clears up $5 million of cap space, we will give you prospect A and B as sweetener. Some teams may do that. Listen, the big contract that Florida probably would like to get rid of is Patrick Hornquist. It's $5.3 million. For a team that's up against the salary cap the way the Florida Panthers are, that's a luxury. You really cannot afford to give Patrick Hornquist $5.3 million. You love him. He's a great locker room guy. He's a net front presence, but he's also a fourth line guy who plays 10 minutes a game. You can't afford that. He's got an 8-team no trade list. So, I'm sure Arizona's on it. I'm sure Buffalo's on it. And, the teams that would take him are probably on that no trade list.
Right.
So,
and again, the Panthers don't have the picks to get rid of him either anyway. So the Marchman one kills me, dude. I like him.
Everybody does, but we talked about it all year that the Panthers weren't going to be able to afford him. Maybe they clear up some space between now and then. I know Marchment wants to return. The Florida Panthers obviously want him to return, but Not right this second. They were 12 hours away from, 11 hours away now. Well, not, sorry, 23 hours from now. My math isn't great. 23 hours from now, the free agency market opens, and the Florida Panthers have less than $4 million. And that includes Anthony DeClaire's injury money. So that money's going to come back onto the cap when he returns. So right now, the Panthers have less than $1 million to spend in real money.
Wow,
that's
man.
nothing. That's going to get you nobody. So they're up against it.
And you're not good enough to win the cup as it is. And if you don't make improvements, again, you'll have a good season, but you won't be considered, what you want to get to. And that's kind of a shame. You know what I'm saying? So,
well, you don't know that either. I mean, hockey is a crazy, hockey's a weird thing. I mean, basically going to be the team they were before the trade deadline minus Mason Marchment, right? That's it. That's really all you're losing from the Panthers of February, right? Mason Marchment's really, and Joe Thornton. You're still coming back with the same team that you had last year. It's they thought.
So we're kind of hoping for improvement from within, right, my brother? That's kind of the way it is.
Yes. And you're going to replace some guys. You're going to lose Noah Chari to free agency. You're going to replace him with one of the younger guys. So the Panthers feel pretty content that they're going to be able to find some deals, and they might find some deals tomorrow in free agency. Carter Verhaeghe. Nobody ever heard of him when the Panthers signed him for $1 million. That was a terrific signing. The Panthers are looking for guys like that.
Let's hope they're able to do that. What are you working on over at Florida Hockey Now?
Well, the big thing is free agency, obviously. I mean, the Florida Panthers are having development camp in Coral Springs right now, just leaving there. And that's all well and good. But right now, the focus is on free agency, who's coming, who's going. It'll be interesting to see if the Panthers are able to make a trade. The buyout window is now closed. Patrick Hornquist was not bought out, so he stays for now. Maybe a trade's in the works. We don't know. But for right now, the Panthers have no money. So unless they make a trade or two or three, it's going to be pretty quiet around Pantherland tomorrow.
Wow, man, that is frustrating a little bit, man, because I want this franchise to move forward and win people over, man.
And they're still a very good team. I mean, they're still a playoff team.
I know, but that's for you and me, dude. The people that are going to watch them anyway. But to get the Joe fan, to get the guy and the woman on the fence, the people that we got in the 90s to get over the fence and come over to us, those are the people we need to win over, man. And we haven't won those.
Again, this is you're losing the guys that you brought in as rentals is what you're doing. So
yeah.
I don't think it changes all that much. Again, this was a very fun team in February, and that's what you're going to have next year. So
yeah, no, I get that. I get that. It's just, will they be good enough defensively? Will they be tough enough in the playoffs? Will they sacrifice their bodies enough in the playoffs to make the defensive plays that they need in front of the goalie? All the things that they need to improve on is what we need to find out on. And the goaltending too. It's got to get to a point where you got a guy back there that can really, make a difference at times. Not in stretches where Bob did stuff in stretches that were pretty damn good, but you need that guy, bro, that's back there that is going to be on his head. And I really wonder how much Knight is going to get an opportunity to get a stranglehold on the job this time around.
I think Knight's going to get more playing time next year. I do. I think he in the second half of the season that when Spencer Knight played, he was very, very good. He was a completely different goalie than he was in the first half of the season. I think you'll see more of a split this year with Knight and Bob.
Let's hope so, man.
Or Bobby Knight, as we like to call him.
Follow him on Twitter at George Richards. And, of course, subscribe over and to FloridaHockeyNow.com. He does a great job covering the Panthers on a daily basis. This is the time you want to get on right now so you can get all the coverage of the offseason and keep up with all the changes in the Florida Panthers. You're not going to get it really locally like the way you're going to get it from George. So go to Florida Hockey Now and check it out. George, as always, you're a stud, my brother. We'll catch up next week.
Orlando, thank you. You have a good week, my friend.
You got it, baby. Be good. There you go. That's our lockdown segment, our ALennyLockdown.com Florida Panthers segment. Remember, 24-hour locksmith. You get locked out of your home, locked out of your car. You got to call A. Lenny Locksmith in Miami, in Hollywood, in Hialeah, in Port St. Lucie, in West Palm Beach, in Boca. You name it, all throughout South Florida. They'll take care of you. Our friends in Orlando and in Tampa, we've got locations there. We've got locations in Phoenix, Arizona, and more locations to come. They will program your car keys. You want to make spare keys for your home, spare keys for your car. Man, you got to call the best in the business, ALennyLocksmith.com. That's our lockdown segment.
This has been the Florida Panthers Lockdown segment, brought to you by A. Lenny Locksmith Services. Count on them 24 hours a day. Call 855-869-5625 or go to the website at alennylocksmith.com.
All right, we are back. Thank you all out there. Florida also has to worry about Jonathan Huberdeau and Mackenzie Weegar hitting the open market in 2023. Yes. We can't win the President's Cup this season. Well, we don't have to. No, you don't have to win the President's Cup. But I don't know if they're going to be better than they were this past year. I thought I was the only one who found that Kate Bush song annoying. No, it's no. It's one of those songs that I have a hard time understanding how people are into that song the whole way through. You know, yeah, it's an annoying song. I'm with you, bro. I'm with you. We are on the same boat there, baby. If PJ can learn how to shoot threes, I believe Bam can. Also, I think Durant is a pipe dream. Trade for Miles Turner and let's get bigger already. The Miles Turner one I like. I like that move because he's kind of underachieved over there. I think he'll be better here, and he is a 3-and-D guy. So you are correct. PJ can learn to shoot threes. What PJ is he talking about? Oh, Tucker. You're talking about PJ Tucker. Yeah. Listen, I get that you say that, but Bam still hasn't learned how to do it, and he's in the league now. What is it, 5 years? So I don't see it in him. That's my problem with the Bam. Bam is too much of a nice guy. He needs to have a little bit more of a sumbitch in him. Woodson chimes in with CTSW. Yeah, baby. We love all you CTSWs. You guys are all fantastic out there. All right, we are out of here. We thank Manny Navarro, Omar Kelly, George Richards, and Anthony Chang, and of course, Sean Stanley, who masters this program every single day. Appreciate all of you for tuning it in. Please hit that like button before you leave. Or if you're visiting the YouTube page at any point in time, please always hit the like button when you're watching the show. It is very, very important. We appreciate all of you out there as always. Also, don't forget to subscribe to our second channel, Big O Show Cuts, here on YouTube. We need to get that one to 1,000, Big O Show Cuts. Please find it and subscribe to it. We will catch you guys tomorrow. Same time, same place, same bat channel. Have a great one.
You've been listening to the Big O Radio Show's coverage of the Slomans.com NBA Summer League live from Las Vegas. We want to thank our great sponsors for helping us hit the road. Slomans.com, KSDTCPA.com, Hialeah Park Casino, Edge Energy Drink, Craig Zinn Acura of Pembroke Pines, EJDConstruction.com, ALennyLocksmith.com, Perdomo Cigars, the Fort Lauderdale Police Department, Welton Rayom Law Offices, and LiquorSplit.com. The Big O Radio Show is mastered by executive producer Sean Stanley. Please subscribe to both our YouTube channels, The Big O Radio Show and Big O Radio Show Cuts. Thank you for supporting the most complete platform on the planet covering South Florida sports.